Sonic Frontiers is finally here. It has been for a bit, sorry. And you have no idea how ready I am to get into this game. It's been 5 years since the last main series entry, and in that time I've played Adventure 2, Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, Unleashed, Colors, Generations, Lost World, Forces, and even Sonic Labyrinth, which I actually kinda liked. I may be insane, but I'm the best man for the job. So let's get right into it. Because this is Sonic Frontiers. So the game starts with Eggman's ship gliding through the trees to this ancient... yeah, you know what, I can't ignore this. I didn't press any buttons here. This skip icon just always shows up automatically and is forever there in every cutscene, so get used to it, I guess. Though I really don't mean to be nitpicking already. But maybe I do, because Eggman's ship breezes past these trees here, but I think it would be more like... Okay, seriously though, Eggman finds this statue and puts this sort of hacking device on it, which causes a whole bunch of strange stuff to happen, with the sky glitching and spawning these scary guys. Things seem to go even more wrong though, as his device triggers some kind of protective initiative that sucks him right in. Cut to Sonic, and Tails, and Amy for some reason, all flying in the tornado to somewhere called the Starfall Island. However, that glitchy effect from before opens up in the sky, pulling everyone in and separating Sonic from the others. And into the first level we go, which is... Yep, Green Hill again. I'm sure you've heard everyone complain about the aesthetic reuse at this point, and yes, I do agree with most of it. I want new levels, we all do. Though I do think there are some positives here. For one, I like the glitchy effect this level has to it, specifically within the background. Like yeah, these are just floating Green Hill assets, but this is not Green Hill. Something else is going on here. Something is wrong. I really do like this concept of weaponizing familiarity. I think a lot can be done with it, especially for a series as old as this one. And while this gets nowhere near the level I'd like to be seeing, I do think it's fine in this instance. Just please, no more Green Hill. Here we get introduced to Sonic's moveset, which has what you'd expect at this point. Boost, homing attack, the double jump is back. If you played Forces, then this will be no problem. This stage does come with these tutorials if you get confused, and I'm glad they're off to the side. It's purely if you need them. I will say, something I noticed right off the bat is that the boost doesn't really have the same oomph to it as it did in the other games, you know? When you boosted in something like Unleashed, it felt like it had so much power behind it. But here it feels more like a typical run button. Ooh, what's that? Two walls a bit apart from each other? Could it be? Nope, it could not be. You know, Unleashed and Colors both had diegetic wall jumping, where you can just go up to a wall and jump off it. It made me think more about the environment in new ways. It was cool. But from Generations onward, you can only do it off these wall jump panels, which is just like, why? What's even the difference between these and springs at that point? Pressing the A button? But alright, with that level complete, we find ourselves face down in the dirt, and told by some space voice that Sonic is the key between dimensions. And did Sonic go through Hedgehog puberty or something? Cause goddamn, his voice in this game is so much deeper than anything we've heard before. Like seriously, the difference is night and day.
Whew, that was cool. Pun entirely intended.
Key, huh? Sure beats being called a rodent.
I do kinda like it though, but I've always preferred the more deep voice Sonic, like in Adventure. Though I know that voice got higher over time as well. But I'm getting off topic. Sonic sounds fine in this game, I'm cool with it. And yeah, this is where I really started to notice the cutscene quality. So this game opts to have a lot of its story-based cutscenes be pre-rendered, which means they're essentially video files. And that's a fine way to do it, but I don't know what happened here because the compression just looks terrible. It's instantly noticeable with all this fuzz and artifacting, it does not look good. And the cutscene animations themselves aren't looking too hot either. This genuinely reminded me of that one Sonic Omens fan game at moments. The animation just looks so similar. Sonic games have had this rigidness to its animations for a while now, but something here just makes it look so fan-made to me. I don't know, it's hard to describe. So it's finally time to play the main game, and... oh, it seems like it really wants me to look at the options menu, alright. Jesus Christ, there's like a million options in here! On one hand, I really do like the freedom this gives you, but on the other, I don't know, I just feel overwhelmed. This feels like a dev menu or something. I will always be the first person to say that options are everything when it comes to games. And games lacking options, this series being a huge offender of that, are severely limited by such decisions. But this feels like too much, man. At the beginning of the game, we were given 2 different control presets to choose from, but I wish there were more. Give us presets like adventure-style controls, which makes Sonic control like he did there, Colors controls, and so forth. I do like that they gave us the options, don't get me wrong, but I wish it was a bit more streamlined. I ended up turning them all to max anyway, so I guess this is a bit of a moot point, isn't it? Okay, let's finally play the game. Okay, all I have to do is get an S rank. That should be easy. Wait, Frontiers is gonna have the drift, right? Right? Okay, well, even though we have no drift, maybe I just set the controls wrong. Let me just turn down the boost turning speed. Maybe that'll do it. Okay, so let me just take back what I said about the control options, because according to the internet, they do not apply to these levels. They only apply to the overworld, not cyberspace. Why? And if you have to, why not tell us? I was changing the controls like an idiot here, come on. Okay, whatever, we get the S rank, get another key, whatever that is, and finally, let's experience this open world. So here we are, in this great big new Sonic landscape. And just as a first impression, this works pretty well. Sonic is super responsive to your controls here, the most tight he's felt since 06, I'd say. And unlike that game, this feels pretty smooth to control, though I will say Sonic is a bit too slow here for my liking. It really does make me think that the boost is a somewhat run button, because just running around without it feels more like a jog than anything. Oh, the game wants me to go to a training simulator? Alright. Did you guys forget about that first level I just played? You literally introduced the homing attack in the most natural way possible. Why are we now stopping the game to talk about it? If you're really worried about the player forgetting, you could just put a little reminder on the screen. Which you did. I didn't edit that. Alright, I should remember this is a game for all audiences after all. I shouldn't be too annoyed. Pick up dropped items. What, you think I'm just gonna leave them there? Okay, all this nitpicking aside, for just a small opening path like this, there's a surprising amount to do. There's a bunch of these very tiny micro challenges that award you with a heart or this blue pomegranate thing. I do like this approach to gameplay. It's what Sonic has always been best at, putting a bunch of little secrets that are off the beaten path. It's fun to just jump into one of these, get a thing, and jump out. Though it seems we're at the first boss now, who is Ninja. And wow, there's like a Dark Souls lock-on button too. I've only been playing this game for about 20 minutes, but already I'm so impressed by how different it is. This is how you present a video game. There's already so much new here. This is interesting. Though Dark Souls this ain't. This boss consists of just punching the dude, dashing away, and then punching the dude some more. It's pretty whatever. Though, art style aside, look at these reflections off the water. This looks really impressive. Anyway, defeating Ninja opened this door ahead, but first I decided to look around the arena, maybe find some secrets. And hey, look at that, I found some springs. Let's jump into one and see where it leads. Okay. Maybe I just hit it wrong? Let's try the dash ring in front of it instead. Ah, I see. Am I playing a troll level? What's going on? Okay, fine, joke's on me, I guess. I'll just keep going forward. Oh, I can unlock Psyloop, that thing in the first trailer. Alright, I unlocked it, and I did it. Am I the only one kind of disappointed by this? This move was shown off as such a big thing in the trailer, like it's a whole new huge ability for Sonic, but you just kind of get it. There's no story reasons or anything, it just happens. Pushing these 3 buttons had more fanfare than this. I know it's small and that skill trees themselves don't really make much diegetic sense in a video game, but I don't know, there could have been more to this. Speaking of that skill tree though, I like the concept, especially considering this game seems to be a bit more focused on combat. I just have to question, why have this annoying flashing notification down here? It pops up when you're able to unlock something new, which is fine, but I've only done combat a couple times. I don't know which move I want to unlock yet, leave me alone. So I use the Psyloop to put out these candles, which makes a rail appear, and it basically serves as a fast travel system back to the buttons I pushed from before, which is good to have in an open world like this, so I'm glad it's here. Alright, let's just go back and... Wait. These are the springs from before. That was the dash ring from before. What? Why would you have these spawned in for me to see when the thing they're attached to doesn't even exist yet? How did they not think to spawn these things in with the rails? Is it because they're separate objects? I know I've been nitpicking, but that's a genuine gameplay flaw right there. I'm really surprised they left that in. Something else weird I noticed is that if you're not holding up after hitting a boost pad, you stop pretty much immediately. If you hold forward, you continue fine, but I'm not even holding back here, you just stop. It feels so weird and wrong, honestly, and seeing Sonic still continue to struggle with what should be basic momentum like this is just upsetting. Maybe it was done to give you more control, and being transparent, I did definitely get used to it, but I don't think that makes it good. But alright, we can continue onward to fight this Guardian thing, named Tower. And it's a pretty neat fight. It teaches you about combos well, with the goal being to destroy its body to get to the head. It's a nice and simple boss to teach you the basics. And now it's time for the second stage, which is Sky Sanctuary themed. Alright, I'm glad we're getting these older level themes out of the way first. Let's just get to the new stuff faster. So, the stage. It's fun. It's pretty bite-sized, but for just a second level out of many, I liked it quite a bit. It's not great or anything, but still a decent time. Though it becomes an entirely different beast when you try to S-rank it. This level is harsh with its time limit, much more tough than anything in Forces or Generations. And yeah, time is again all that it takes to get an S-rank. No more engaging with enemies and thinking about score, I guess. Though if all S-rank timings are similar to this one, maybe I don't care, because this is a legitimate challenge. I had to genuinely think about my surroundings in the stage, and what I could possibly use to gain me some much needed speed. Like in the beginning, I thought taking the top route would be fastest, you know, like every Sonic game, but actually the stop and go up above makes you lose time compared to all the boost pads at the bottom. This took me a good amount of attempts, and that's how an S-rank should be. Also, while I really disliked most of how Sonic controlled back and forces, the air boost was really fun in that game, and I'm glad it got carried over here. Using it for speedrunning is super fulfilling when you actually have to worry about going fast. It brings a totally new element to the equation, being able to use it to access different shortcuts and whatnot. There's also some cool things here that are clearly for speedrunning, like how this roof can be used as a shortcut towards the end. This isn't a level where you could go somewhat fast to get an S rank. No, you have to bring your A game, and I love that. So with that level completed, I get a Chaos Emerald? And another? And another. Okay, those cutscenes kinda just happened with no context, but yeah, sure, cool, I'm so good. So after learning that the Lightspeed Dash is indeed in this game, Misty Buddy, I'm hit with this cutscene, which I think is supposed to be a reference to the Sonic movie. Not that I'd really care about that kind of thing, I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I've heard that the second movie was good though, I wonder if that's true. Anyway, this is the Power Boost, which is basically just a variation of Sonic's regular boost. And I mean no hyperbole when I say this, I think this might be the best thing added to a Sonic game in a really long time. Basically, when the ring count is maxed out, Sonic boosts incredibly fast, while having this lightning effect on him that I mentioned before. What makes this power so great to me though, is that this makes rings actually matter again. Let's face it, rings haven't had any real importance in a long time. Beyond serving as a health bar, in which you only ever really needed one, they used to function as a means of getting extra life. But nowadays, games don't really have those, so what has been the point of rings? Well, nothing. In Forces, there was really no incentive to collect the things other than increasing your score. But in a game that already gives out S ranks like candy, that didn't mean much. But now, rings finally have some meaning again. And skipping ahead here, the feeling this evokes honestly rivals how it did back in the old Genesis days. You know the feeling, you're saving up rings, you're nearly at 100, almost at the extra life you desperately need, and... ooh, worst feeling in the world. And I felt that here too, honestly. The lightning boost is so fast compared to the regular one, I just wanted to have it all the time. I picked up every ring I could, rising so close to the top, and finally getting it. It's a feeling unparalleled. I can't believe they did it, but they brought back that archaic joy of collecting rings, and I never thought I'd be saying that again. So I collect this Chaos Emerald, and now the game really starts, I guess, because we get a sweeping landscape shot, which, yeah, it looks great. Oh look, another challenge. Wow, I really did just homie attack those 5 things. Okay, yeah, I guess I should mention these. So that fast travel system I mentioned earlier is activated by these little mini challenges, which also unlock more of the map. And so far, we've had stepping on 3 buttons, putting out 3 candles, and now homing attacking 5 things. I don't want to be that guy, but starting to sense a pattern here. Alright though, it's still the beginning of the game. Maybe they'll become actual challenges later, who knows. Look at these enemies though. Say what you want about Frontiers, but I really love how different it's being. Even if you love Forces somehow, you can't deny it didn't do anything new. Now this is exciting. And yeah, aside from maybe being a bit generic, I do really like the designs of these things. They feel so alien from Sonic, which is a vibe I'm fond of. They go down like no problem though. Just stay away from Ball Guy while throwing slashes, and stay away from Flower Guy till he throws his petals, then wail on him. Not much of a challenge in either, but for enemies in the first area, they're fine enough. They leave a lasting impression. And speaking of that, look at this big guy. So this is Asura, and the fight plays out sort of like something from Shadow the Colossus of all things. Basically, the goal here is to use these blue boost rings to get up on one of Asura's shoulders, I think they are? Anyway, this quickly gets more difficult as he spawns red boost rings that push you backwards. It's a neat boss, and is super engaging. By the time it's his last phase, things get hard, and it honestly made me think about my surroundings. I couldn't get up the normal way, so I used this elevation to air dash onto its foot, which felt like a real accomplishment. Though the boss is a bit weird, like sometimes I kinda just got hit by nothing. Like seriously, it happens every time. Luckily I can air boost out of it, but still, what's going on here? Another gear collected and another gear used. This is the 3rd stage, and it's... okay. It's entirely 2D, which is a bit disappointing, but it's not bad or anything. It uses a new city theme, which is pretty cool, though it's not very distinct or anything. I mean, look at it, it's just a city. Also, from what I've seen so far, the red ring placements have been fine. Usually on higher paths, you at least have to try to reach. But what's going on here? It's the end of the level, you go out of your way to bounce in the spring, and that's it. Like, okay, cool, 20 rings, but what's the point? This is literally steps away from the end of the level. Would putting a red ring up here not make sense? Like, it seems so obviously intended for that, but no. These rings would be a bit more meaningful if they actually carried out of cyberspace with you, but they don't, so you're kind of just left there like a... yeah. Also, the stage's S rank is way too easy. I barely went fast at all and got it with like 10 seconds to spare. Oh hey, Eggman. So this is neat, we got to see what Eggman's up to, and it's, not much. This cutscene in general just feels like it was cobbled together last minute. Like, Eggman's mouth just doesn't move at all. It's really weird, honestly. And he's supposed to be talking to, like, a log or something, so he clicks one of his gold nipples, and then nothing happens. It reminds me so much of SFM, like, come on. You couldn't give it a blink effect or anything? I do love how this background looks, though, and it's a neat idea for location in general. A literal information highway, that's clever. Sonic games have had a really bad habit of being totally uninspired with its locations recently, so more of this, please. Let's, this. Oh hey, night! And it's raining, wow. I kind of assumed there would be a day-night cycle in this game, but this is still super cool. It totally changes the mood here, especially with the rain. Oh hey, Amy.
Hello? Is someone there? Help me!
Hang on. Maybe messing with the ruins will fix things.
Or I can just press X, I think that'll work too. So Sonic throws those hearts we've been collecting into Amy, which breaks her out, but seems to infect Sonic himself. Unfortunately though, Amy is still just a hologram! So we gotta keep exploring. I know I haven't unlocked all the skill tree yet, but it's still pretty lame how there's basically only one way to defeat this guy. Like, you get actively punished for trying anything else, you basically have to use the slash move. Makes this enemy just super one note. Same goes for this guy basically, like it just amounts to waiting for him to attack and then hurling these same slashes at him. I get that this is the beginning area, but I don't know, I just wish there were more to these. Though I'm sure as we run into harder enemies, the slash move will be less effective. It's just a bit of an issue at the moment. Oh hey, who's this guy? Okay, you know what? I've gone long enough without talking about this. What is it with this game and the tutorials? Like, I can understand some here and there for the basics and whatnot. I prefer my games without forced tutorials like they used to be in Sonic, but hey, whatever, it's fine. But when a game constantly interrupts your progression with things that you could very well figure out on your own, it starts to be a problem. This game does not let you learn anything through its actual gameplay. You're thrown into this big world of whimsy and wonder, but instead of letting that natural feeling of curiosity grow within the player and explore how this world works, they just give you all the answers. When I saw these little guys just hopping around, I was so excited to find out what they were, and then bam, here's what they are, here's what to do with them, here's your reward. Like, what? Why is there a Sonic wiki built into this game? No one needs this. And if they did, I think they could just, go to the Sonic wiki. Some tutorials are just ridiculous. When the camera is fixed, that means it's fixed. Use purple coins in the purple portals. You didn't know there was fishing in this game? Welp, now you do. And now back to the present, instead of just letting me talk to this guy, it tells me again what he does. The game has this whole exchange between Sonic and Elder Coco, literally telling us what this tutorial already did, but in an actual organic way. I can only assume these tutorials were added in later on in development, because these are things that don't need explaining. None of these pop-ups tell us anything we need to know to progress gameplay-wise, so why are they here? Explain the basic stuff, leave the rest to the player, that's how it should be. There's a reason younger kids are still able to jump into games like Mario 64 and fully understand them. I admire all the clarity, but this is just terrible, especially for an open world game. Oh yeah, so about the conversation these two guys have, it is also really weirdly awful. There's no way to differentiate who's talking here. All the text has the same plain white font. This is something you'd see in a beta build of a game, not the final product. Like, all you'd have to do is just change the camera angles like a regular cutscene and you'd be fine. And if you can't do that, maybe add a little graphic for who's who. And if you can't do that, then maybe just make Sonic's text blue or something, I don't know. This is just so strange. It makes me think that this is yet another last-minute addition. But yeah, we give him the Cocos we found, and he levels up our speed, which doesn't have much of a difference, honestly, but considering there are 99 possible levels here, I guess that's to be expected. Oh hey, there's another Chaos Emerald right here, cool. Though collecting that spawns this big dude, which is apparently linked to what's trapping Amy? Not sure how Sonic knows this though, maybe read a tutorial on this or something. Anyway, it's clear this strange little girl is affecting it in some way, and tries to threaten Sonic. But Sonic kinda just doesn't care, which is weird. Like, the conversation literally ends in 10 seconds. Are you trapped? No. Bye. Like, would you not be asking her who she is, or... Okay, whatever, it's boss fight time. Alright, homie attacking rocks, and, ooh, wow. This is genuinely sickening. Anyway, this assault on his face just absolutely does not work, which leads to Sonic getting grabbed and tossed. Whoa, hold up, can we get a replay on that one? He tosses Sonic here, but then Sonic comes out of his elbow? Why? I'm really not trying to nitpick here, guys, but a lot of these problems are so weird. And is my man just floating above the ground here? Alright, whatever, these are small mistakes. Point is, Sonic gets demolished. Should have maybe talked to the thing threatening you and controlling the Titan, but yeah, sure, next time. So now the objective is clear. Get the Chaos Emeralds, take down the Titan. Alright. Oh, hello. So yeah, this is Hermit Coco, and he has all the same visual problems as the Elder, but I think even worse. In Elder's conversation, he moved a bit when he talked, so maybe you could argue it was easy to keep up with who is who, but here, both him and Sonic just stand there. Like, just look how stupid this looks. Why is it like this? Okay, whatever. You give this guy the seeds you've been collecting, and he levels up your defense and power. Though, a bit of a bozo move to design the power fruit nearly the same as Amy's memory tokens. Like, I genuinely thought these were the same item for a while. And the way Sonic gets powered up and then instantly goes back to his idle animation looks so dumb too, like he doesn't even care. I'm really not trying to be super negative, but does this game have any polish at all? These are all such simple oversights, it's weird. Like here, this little Coco guy is just kind of inside Amy while we give her memory tokens, and then the cutscene starts and he's out. Could you not just move him? So yeah, apparently being a hologram lets Amy speak their language, which is as good of a reason as any.
This Coco says they need to find their one true love before it's too late. Well, don't you worry. We'll reunite you with your lost love.
I'm starting to really question the point of these scary robot enemies. Like, each one is just killed with a homing attack. These guys look so cool, but mean no more than a usual egg pawn. And maybe that's the point, but for a game so focused on combat, I wish these enemies were more focused on combat. Also, for a move that's supposed to be super important, I sure haven't used that Psyloop much. Like, the game makes such a point out of you having it, but why should I be using it? I can just homing attack these guys. And I already know the best strategies for how to deal with these guys as well. Oh well, at least this ninja guy is fun. Oh, this game has a parry that apparently doesn't require any timing? Wow, that sure didn't require any timing. What? What is this? I just want to point out, I'm playing this game on the hardest difficulty. Why is this so easy to do? When you parry this guy, you basically just kill him right then and there. What's the point of fighting him normally if I could just hold this button and win? In any other video game I have ever played, parrying requires some type of timing. Why not here? Why should I bother doing anything else when this is so obviously the best method? These mini challenges sure haven't changed much either. Step on some panels, homing attack a bunch of times, hold left. Some of these are kind of neat, like having to run to a place far off in the distance under a certain time limit. That makes you actually think about your surroundings and have to, dare I say, try? But those are so few and far between. What is up with this game, man? Why do all these things feel like last-minute decisions? I see such a strong foundation everywhere around this game, but I don't feel like anything's being built upon it. And that makes me nervous. Maybe I could find some solace in cyberspace and... Wait, what? This game has a drop dash? Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Kinda doesn't work when you try to turn it though, but that seems to be the theme to cyberspace, so I'll save judgment till I'm back in the overworld. So yeah, this is another Green Hill theme level, but as for the level design, wait a minute. No, it cannot be. It's, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. Except they don't. Sonic Frontiers uses an entirely different set of physics and momentum than Unleashed and Generations, so these levels being blatantly ported over doesn't even work because the gameplay doesn't support them. Obviously these are bad because they're unoriginal and lazy, we all know that, but they don't even work on a fundamental level, and that's honestly what's most egregious to me. In Generations you're zooming around, plowing through enemies, having a grand old time. Sonic may be slippery as a seal, but that's okay because the level is designed around it, it's fun. Sonic stops on a dime in this game, and while it sort of works in the overworld, here it's just terrible. It makes everything feel so clunky and unrefined in a level that used to flow seamlessly. Take this grind rail section near the end. In Generations, there's so much power to it. It may be a pretty simple portion, but it feels fast and fun. In Frontiers, it sure is happening. Generations Green Hill is a great level, but playing it like this just feels wrong. And the same goes for the other levels as well, even if I hadn't realized it yet. And yet again, very easy S rank. I didn't even take the faster route that time. What's going on here? Okay, well, we're out again, and yeah, the drop dash is pretty cool. I'm glad they added it. See, I can be positive. Okay, so this guy adds to your total ring amount, which feels a bit pointless because 400 rings is already a lot. But alright, maybe it'll come in handy. Though, I really got a question, how does this guy work? The first time I met him, I gave him like 1,000,000 Cocos, and he only leveled me up once. Here I give him about 20, and in exchange he gives me 2 level ups. And then a couple minutes later, I give him just 2 Cocos, and he still levels me up. What is the exchange rate here? Is there some type of Coco pool I'm donating to? Is there an interest rate? If only these questions could be explained in some way. Oh hey, finally, something to do with the Psyloop. Oh. Okay. Well, in better news, here we have a new mini-boss, Squid. And I liked fighting this guy quite a bit. It sort of functions like one of those Colors bosses where you're quick-stepping and trying to catch up with it, which, just like in Colors, you're stuck to only quick-stepping, which is a bit disappointing. Taking away movement options really never makes sense to me. I don't know why they keep doing it in these games, but here it's pretty harmless, so I'll give it a pass. The boss is all about conserving your boost, dodging his bullets, and dishing out damage before he runs away again. And I think all those parts work well. Something I like here too is that when he begins to run away, you could catch up to him by wisely using your homing attack, and be right back on his tail before he even gets a chance at another phase. It's good stuff, really. This is something all good Sonic bosses have, the ability to use your speed to beat them quicker than normal. And that's something Squid really follows suit in. Good boss. Whoa! That was cool. I wonder if I could... Huh. Neat. A night-only challenge, huh? Let's see what... Oh, did it really have to be night for this? And now my boost is infinite, apparently? Okay, I mean, I don't know why it is, but yeah, sure, I'll take it. Wow, there really is something to do around every corner, isn't there? I may not be totally vibing with you Frontiers, but I'll give you this. You have me hooked. And I'll talk more about the general art aesthetic way later, but this game genuinely looks downright beautiful at times. They were really able to flex what the second Hedgehog engine was capable of here, and despite it looking kinda goofy with Sonic running around, it's nothing to be scoffed at. Alright, I've wandered enough, let's go talk to Amy. Not this Amy though, that Amy. Yeah, sure. So this mother has lost her children, and Amy wants me to wrangle them up. Alright, I could do that, maybe look around the map and... Oh, no, it's a minigame? And they're all right here. And they drop bombs? What? What is this? It's over in like 2 seconds, I just walked forward. Oh my bad, 36 seconds. Yeah, I like how they have this timer here, as if there's an S rank to shoot for or something. Just such a weird mini game. It does not fit the tone of this game at all. But alright, yeah, sure, we herded them up, now what? Oh, Chaos Emerald? Okay, cool, yeah, I'll take it. Where did it come from though? No explanation? Okay. Oh, what a beautiful ending. Oh, what a beautiful ending. What is happening in this game anymore, man? Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, there's the Sonic I know. Ah, good to have you back. Did I mention this game has a wall climbing mechanic? Because it sure isn't important. So remember that one mountain at the beginning of Sonic R that you kind of just run up? Now imagine a whole game with those physics and you have Sonic Frontiers. You could just run up things in this game. It's really weird and easy to do. And it makes this whole new wall running feature feel sort of useless. Like, they really want you to be doing it in these specifically marked sections, but I can do it wherever I want and faster, so what's the point? If I'm being honest, I think they should have gave Lost World's parkour system another chance here. This is a game that has so many objects to climb, whether that be natural or not, so we should be able to actually climb them, not just run up them at full speed somehow. What exactly makes this green rock so special that only it can be climbed? The answer, nothing. It's totally arbitrary. And it just makes me question why. Also, I'm really trying to use the new moves I've been unlocking, but there's no point. I'm actively punished for deviating from this kick slash, so I guess I'll keep doing it. Alright, well, here's a new cyberspace stage. Maybe it'll be a remake of Cool Edge or somewhere else we haven't seen in a while. Oh, there he is! Wait a minute. No. It cannot be. It's... Here's to the ones that we got. Okay, reusing modern stage design is already baffling, but fine, I get it. You don't want to design new levels, whatever. But classic game design? Seriously? Back in Generations, you're spin dashing through this, using that momentum, having that grand old time. Here, there is no spin dash, so you're kind of just boosting along with Sonic's new slow physics system. You lose so much speed when you jump, and that does not work with this level design at all. There's really no thrills to be seen here anymore, which is upsetting. I guess the red rings are still good, because they're only on the top path mostly, so at least you have to try, but that's not really saying much, is it? I will say, the cyberspace boost levels being kind of bad so far is actually not too terrible here, as at least there's a game between them. Something Force is desperately needed. I'm definitely not happy with the route these levels have taken, but I'm enjoying myself in the overworld, so I could look past it. At least there is one enemy here that gives the Psyloop importance, even if it's not too challenging exactly. It's the thought that counts. Something I like here too is that there's a lot of optional dialogue and exposition placed around if you're interested enough. In the overworld you can find either Amy or the Ghost Girl, and if you have enough hearts you could have a little chat with them. The conversations are a good way of learning about the world in this game. They're pretty neat. It sucks that they're pretty much just talking head scenes though, the characters just standing there. Also sometimes they get kind of stupid.
Are you saying they lost control of their tech and it wiped them out?
No.
Okay. So you're not in a talking mood. I'll leave you be.
Sonic, that's the most emotion she's given so far. I think she's ready to talk. You shouldn't just...
Yo, don't you think that Titan was kinda overkill?
Never mind, I wouldn't want to talk to you either. I hope you guys don't mind this notification here, because it's going to be flashing for a while. The next ability I can unlock is a way for the game to do combos for me in exchange for reduced damage. I don't know why anyone would ever want this, but okay, the option's there, I guess. I just don't personally think it's worth my experience points, so enjoy this notification. I know I will. Okay, these Psyloop spots are starting to feel really insulting, honestly. They keep giving me like 10 hearts just for circling a clearly marked spot. Meanwhile, I actually engage with the game and do some platforming or combat or anything requiring effort, but only get 1 heart every time. What's with the ratio here? If it was just 1 heart from these spots, it'd be whatever, but it's 8. You can also get Pearl Gears from these spots too. You know, the things you get from beating the bosses? Just, why? I swear, this game is an enigma sometimes. Proving my point, look at this scene. It looks unrendered. This game was beautiful 2 seconds ago. What's going on, man? Okay, this is a neat puzzle though. You gotta use these light beams to create a new path. It's the type of environmental feedback I really have been expecting in this game, and want more of. Cause being real here, what exactly has this environment provided so far towards gameplay? Most of this game is tiny challenges, all of which exist non-diegetically to this world. We could be anywhere really, and none of this would be changed. It's not terrible, but I just miss when the gameplay was really merged with the location. That's something Sonic used to do really well, and I just don't feel it here. At all, really. Ah well, at least we'll get to play more with this new system as the game moves forward. I feel like Sonic's character in this game is a lot more heroic. Like he's more playing the role of a hero than just some dude like he was in a lot of the older games. This has always been a part of his personality, but it's never been more clear than here.
It doesn't matter if this is all one big trap or if you keep throwing weird robots at me. Nothing's gonna slow me down or stop me. Count on it. Whatever.
Alright, next cyberspace level, and it's fine. I think it steals a little bit from Adventure 2 maybe, though it mostly has its own level design, so that might be a coincidence. It's decent. I just wish I could turn the camera on these levels. Yep, this is still a prevailing issue 10 years later. These levels are simplistic, so again, it's not terrible, but I just want to look around, man. Sonic's always been about learning the level design and mastering it, but that's kind of hard to do when I can't see any of it. And yeah, I'm starting to really think the second level's S-rank time was a fluke, cause it's an absolute joke here. I take the longest route and still beat the S-rank by 40 seconds, like come on. Homing shot, eh? Seems powerful. Oh.
I'm not seeing a lot of farming going on.
Maybe, if you use that new technique of yours, you can clean up all this wild brush.
Ugh. Well, you heard her. Time to clean up this wild brush. Wow, this truly rivals the likes of Putt-Putt. Yeah, looks great. So there's another Chaos Emerald, and there's another jump cut with no acknowledgement of it. Okay. There's another Eggman cutscene here too, where we see that him and the Ghost Girl are in fact working together. Not much else happens, but yeah, good to know. Oh right, we do learn that her name is Sage. Wonder where they got that one from. Hey, the tower boss is back. Time to put my new combos to the test. Okay, well at least there's another squid to fight. He was fun. Okay, I'm close. Just gotta run up to him and... yeah, totally. His bullet attacks are also pretty stupid. Like, how am I supposed to know which direction he's gonna fire them in? His hands stay in the same place the whole time. It's like I have to slow down, which I'm not gonna do. Damn, Squid's faster than I remember him being. Wait, what? I have all my rings back? But I died. There's no lives in this game, so is there just no consequence for dying? Oh, I see. The consequence is wasting my time. You know what? I got hit again. I only have 5 rings left. Might as well just kill myself and try again at full health. You know what? I'm sick of you. Get out of here. Let me hit him. Let me hit him. Let me hit him. Let me hit him. Oh, okay. Yeah, see you later. These cinematics never get old. Oh, that's right. You know, earlier I was trying to fight him using the new moves I learned, trying to combo him, but why would I do any of that when I can just parry? Yes, my fault completely. Man, I'm glad that's over. You got to be a total bozo to like that boss. Oh, what now? Oh, okay, yeah, so this is a Starfall event. Basically, you collect the stars that fall out of the sky, and they're used to operate this roulette wheel, which rewards you with those purple coins we still haven't used yet. It's kind of a neat little event, just running around collecting some shinies. Like, that's fun. But there's way too many of them. I had like 40 by the time the sequence was over, all of which I guess just go to waste, by the way. I don't really see the point of this roulette wheel, honestly. Why not just have the stars directly translate to the purple coin currency? You know, to give me an actual reason to keep picking them up? Also, this event respawns all the enemies you previously defeated, which I have no problem with. It's pretty much customary for these open world type games. Just thought I'd mention it. You know, every time I've side-looped the ground before, I've gotten rings. I thought it was just like a Mario thing, like ground pounding a secret spot, getting some coins, but it's been happening every time. So does that mean I can just... Wow. So remember everything I said before about rings having a purpose again? Just forget that, because the game sure did. Why? Why is it like this? They created such a good system to make rings matter, but you could just get 400 in like 20 seconds from nothing. What's the point of rings even being out in the world if it's like this? I swear, this is the biggest monkey paw of a game I've ever played. Every good thing has some type of catch to it. It's so weird and frustrating. Though I know I've been being negative for a while here, and I want it to be known that I am still having fun with this game. Just running around in this new big world, doing little micro challenges, it's fun, I'm enjoying it. But it would be dishonest for me to turn a blind eye to all these downright stupid decisions. Did someone say good decisions? So yep, here's that fishing they were talking about, and you can't have fishing without Big. Though he sounds like he has a bit of a frog in his throat.
I don't know. I was looking for fishing spots and wound up here.
Thanks to Big's extra rod and Froggy's love for purple coins, we can fish. So the fishing here essentially functions as a quick time event. Press A at the right time and you've caught yourself a fish. You can also move around where you cast, but it doesn't really matter. You pretty much get a catch no matter where you are. And it's really cool how many different types of fish they put in here. This is a kind of effort that I really appreciate. There's this Fishopedia list too, where you could look at everything you've caught and learn more about them. It's really neat. And as for the fishing itself, if I'm being honest, I think I prefer Big's story. Back in Sonic Adventure, you had to actually fish. Cast the rod in the right point, pull back as you get a bite, reel in the fish without having the line break. It's not amazing or anything, but it's fishing. Here, you just press a button. I love seeing fishing back, honestly, I do, but this really isn't fishing. Hell, Animal Crossing is more complex than this. The effort here is commendable, I just wish there was more to it is all. And that's mainly because of this game's rewards. You trade in the fish here for treasure tokens, which can be used to buy any of the collectibles found in the overworld. Every single one. So you can either choose to interact with the platforming and the combat and the game, or just press A a bunch of times. The reward is the same. I really do like the idea of having different ways of collecting the same important items, but this is way too little work for such a colossal gain. If the fishing was as scrupulous as Big's campaign back in Adventure, then I'd be totally fine with this. But as it is, this is just way too easy, and devalues the game's items even more. Though luckily there is one item here to buy that's totally unique, and that's the Egg Memo. These basically detail what Eggman is up to in cyberspace, and work to expand the lore of the world a bit more. They're pretty cool, and fully voiced by Mike Pollock, who of course does a great job here. This is what all the rewards should have been. Little extras that serve to flesh out the game some more. Instead of restricting Soap Shoes to your newsletter, have them be actual unlockables in the game, with tons more. You could literally copy the ones from Forces if you want. As a whole, fishing is a neat little side mode. It adds more meat to the experience, which is always appreciated. I just wish the gameplay was more complex, especially for these kinds of rewards.
It's beautiful here, but there's a loneliness here. The land feels sad and empty.
You know, it's funny you bring that up, Amy, because I feel like that's the direction they were going for here. To put Sonic in an isolated and solemn world. It's a vibe no other game in the franchise has really attempted to capture before, but I don't think it quite works with the gameplay they have here. The world naturally is quite lonely, but you also have all these springs and balloons and dash panels. It just feels goofy. And of course you got Sonic chuckling and having a blast. It doesn't fit. I don't think a Sonic game should evoke a feeling of emptiness, so I'm glad this doesn't, but I can't help but feel like that was maybe the point.
I can fly!
So another Chaos Emerald gained and another Eggman cutscene we shall receive. And I know I mentioned this before, but god, the grain is bad here. Is that even grain? What is this? The gist is that Eggman's still stuck here, and Sage can't figure out a way to get him out. It's implied, or basically stated, that Sage cares quite a lot about Eggman, which is pretty interesting. So I realize Sonic has no fall damage, by the way. You can basically fall 1,000,000 miles and land just fine. It'd be nice if he had some type of animation reacting to that, but I know that's the least of this game's concerns regarding polish. So Sonic finally gets fed up that we've been following around this stupid Coco for 2 hours, and after a little fight, Amy agrees that they gotta get back on track and find Tails. Alright, great, time for this plot to start going somewhere again. So in the very next cutscene, we're following around this stupid Coco. Yep, don't really know what the point of the last one was then, but yeah, okay, sure, whatever. This one's a bit more interesting at least, as we see a flashback of sorts as these two alien lovers are surrounded by some kind of war raging around them. It implies that the Cocos are kind of like these things' hearts, or spirits maybe? Either way, they are dead.
They were reunited, right before the end.
Has Amy always had this little dog nose? So here's a good example of the type of environmental gameplay I'd like to be seeing here. There was this floating box in the air, which I thought maybe I'd have to use my surroundings to gain some height and use that momentum to boost my way up to it. But then I saw a spring down here, which led to some dash rings, and there you have it. This is fine, but what's the point really? Everything was done for me. There was nothing I really did to earn this reward. Sonic used to be all about utilizing the environment in clever ways, and if we're going open world, I want to see that come back. You know, I actually think Azura is everything I want this game to be. As I mentioned earlier, utilizing your surroundings is actually quite impactful towards this boss, but that's not all. It turns out you could actually fully climb on him too, which means you get right back up after each phase. Not only that, but you have to time how you attack him because of this laser grid, and it's also important to utilize your surroundings there as well. It doesn't work all the time, but this is the strongest boss by far. You completely control the speed of the battle, and it all revolves around the environment. It's awesome. Please, more of this. Less of all this. Here's something else weird I noticed. Earlier in the game, there was this Psyloop spot here that gave me a portal gear, which, yeah, it's stupid, but whatever. But then later, as I returned to this area, the spot was back, and it still gave me a portal gear. I don't know if it's because of that Starfall event from before, or if maybe it's because these were 2 different play sessions or something, but this is really dumb. This shouldn't be a thing you could get easily in the first place, but now it's a renewable resource? I don't know why they didn't just keep these as rewards for beating the bosses. That's a great system. I don't think I ever came across a cyberspace portal in the entire game that I couldn't access immediately, and I think that's pretty telling. Hey Amy, you looking at some roses? Oh, she's actually quite upset. You know, I feel like Amy's character here is kind of just weird in general. It's clear they're trying to go for a bit more of a respectful route towards her characterization, which I'm fine with, but she doesn't really feel like Amy anymore. Her and Sonic's relationship has totally changed now. We don't see any romantic intent from Amy, and we definitely don't see any aversion from Sonic. They're friends, which I'm okay with, but their dynamic is totally missing. You could replace Amy with a completely new character, and it wouldn't even feel out of place. She's that much of a blank slate. This is something they actually started in Lost World, though completely forgot about Enforces, so it's not like it's out of nowhere. I just don't think Amy has much of her own personality anymore, other than just being the girl. And nice, I guess. Alright, getting back on track, it seems we have a puzzle here, and I really wonder how to solve it. I know I may be a bit of an idiot, but was this puzzle weirdly hard for anyone else? Like, I know the solution, the game told me. I just couldn't get these things to match up. Is it just me? Well, I did get it eventually, which apparently opened up a path to the Titan. But before that, I wanted to explore the island some more, just to do some of the stuff I was missing. Yep, like most games, I'm 100%ing this, which doesn't seem too bad so far. Okay, never mind, let's fight the Titan. Ooh, Sonic, you're looking a little bit stretched there, bud. Let me just fix that for you. There he is, Giganto. Alright, let's see what... thanks for spoiling that for me. Alright, well, climb up him we shall, and it's pretty easy. Azura this ain't. I like how Sonic just looks at the emerald like, psst, 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 come here. Alright, it's already Supersonic time, I guess. And wow, this music. This is, oh, who are they quoting here? Big? So yep, we've got ourselves another Supersonic boss fight, and this one's pretty cool. As Supersonic, you have access to all the moves and combos you've unlocked throughout the game, but in a much more powered up form. You have actual reason to use these combos now too, as they do crazy damage, especially when compared to Sonic's normal attacks. Even the all-powerful slash attack isn't that good here, which gives me reason to try, and that's all I've ever wanted. This fight also gives the ring level ups an actual purpose, as your rings drain over the course of the boss, so that's validating. The spectacle here though? Oh. This is what the boss is all about. Being able to just wail on this thing feels great. This is the first Sonic anything in a long time I could confidently say is cool. This feels awesome to play, it's awesome to look at, it's awesome to listen to. I've already mentioned the music, but it's worth saying again, it's on another level. Everything comes together here so well, it's really good. The boss still suffers from a lot of this game's shortcomings, like the parry just being a win button, and having a certain lack of polish in places, but still, this is no contest. The best Frontiers has felt so far, and I want to see more of it.
I'm feeling more like my old self. It's working. Keep going and don't keep me waiting.
I'll be back before you can do a fortune card reading. See ya!
What? Okay, so not only was that line super forced, what are you even talking about? Is this something Amy's known for? Fortune cards? Huh? Alright, I've conquered Kronos Island. No I haven't. Time to go back. Alright, it's night now. Let's see the challenge I definitely couldn't have done during the day. I definitely couldn't have done that during the day. Thank you, Sonic Frontiers. Whoa, that's a huge portion of the map I haven't seen. Maybe we come back here later or something. That's kind of cool. Oh, looks like I missed a cyberspace portal. Oh wow, it's Generations chemical plant, but way less fast. And the enemies don't do anything. And the red rings are all on the basic path. And the S rank is really easy. Yay. Remember when the shortcut took skill to pull off? Those were the days! Man, it's just like, imagine if I had to actually jump off here to get this heart instead of just using the spring. I can't be the only one to see the potential in this, right? Searching for these final hearts has really shown the power of rail jumping though. You keep all of your momentum when launching off these things, so you can basically go wherever you want. It's a lot of fun, and I used it quite a bit to get these last hearts. I could be doing this, but I'd much rather do this. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but this is genuinely some of the most fun I've had in this game so far, so I don't really care. It's cool linking together these challenges too, and it makes me feel creative. I just can't help but think, if this is so fun, maybe it's what the game should have been about? Alright, now that I've conquered Kronos for real this time, let's actually move on with the story. So upon arriving to this new island, Sonic immediately gets shot down, making the emeralds scatter. The island is called Ares, by the way, and it's a desert. And already we have a new enemy. Well, back to the grind. Whoa, no. It cannot be. Do I actually have to try? No. Yeah, it's weird. Ares has a good amount of one-shot enemies. There's this bird guy that shoots at you, but after a Psyloop, he only takes one hit. Same goes for this guy that creates a rail path. You just have to stomp him once. I like these new enemies, but what gives here? Well, this guy's cool at least. You gotta make your way up to him using his kids, but you can't hit the red ones or else you'll get hit. That's pretty neat, even if taking down the dead after that only takes a few punches. I now have 19 medals and 16 were from Psylooping the ground. Yep, makes total sense to me. Oh yeah, I guess I should mention that these islands collectibles are medals this time around, not hearts. Everything else is the same though, albeit color swapped. But I like it, it gives each world its own unique collectibles. Even though they function the same, it helps deviate the adventure. This island's environment is already a lot better too, like this ravine area for instance. It's a lot more immersive, I'd say. Like the location you're traveling through actually matters. And alright, I actually have a reason to use the Psyloop in combat again. These guys have shields now, so I have to use the Psyloop to disable them. It's not that complex, but hey, it's more than just pressing X, so I'm all for it. Wait a minute, my gears didn't transfer over. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but what point was there in me getting gears at all if I had already opened all the cyberspace portals? They should at least be convertible into Cocos or something, instead of just nothing. Alright, whatever, new cyberspace time. And it's Generations Green Hill again, but this time it's just the 2D parts. Great! And I finished every achievement within my first run. Great! Enough said about that. Is it me, or are there way more free medals here than hearts in the last world? Like, I swear, 90% of these have come from the ground so far. If you really have to put these in, they should really be hidden at least. Kronos did this a little bit, but Ares, not so much. Here we have our first new mini-boss, Strider, whose design reminds me a lot of a virus. Don't know if that was the intent or not, just thought it was cool. This boss is weird though. At first I thought I'd have to side-loop his legs or something and climb up him, you know, like Gasura. But no, what you actually have to do is make these rails blue, and then get shot up to higher rails and also make them blue. And then finally you have to make his rails blue, which then after he lets you attack him. Yeah, I don't get it either. It's an okay boss, and you're motivated to use your special moves a lot more because of how much health he has, but I don't think I want to fight it again. Better than Squid, no doubt, but not by too much. Yeah, we're doing this now. Just in case you're wondering why I'm not at full rings most of the time here, it's not because the side loop method doesn't work anymore. No, it still very much does. It's just that the electric boost is extremely fast, and when I'm trying to explore this brand new environment, it just gets a bit overbearing. Also, when you stop boosting from it, Sonic slows down back to a walk, as if he was just starting to run again. It's sort of hard to explain, but it does not feel good. So I just decided to stick with the normal boost for most of the time. Oh hey, Knuckles, love that guy. It's not much of a surprise, I already knew you were going to be here, with the prologue animation and all, but it's good to see you regardless. Oh yeah, speaking of that, I really did like Divergence quite a bit. Definitely worth a watch if you were interested in this game's story. It really makes me wish we had a straight up animated movie. Maybe one day.
Some rescue. I'm still half ghost. I'm working on it, okay?
I'm working on it!
What's going on with you? Just a little side effect of the island's weird energy.
I feel like Knuckles is supposed to be referring to this red stuff that keeps getting inhaled into Sonic, but it's not there anymore, so Knuckles just punches him for no reason, which I kind of like, honestly, so I'm fine with this mistake. This is a pretty nice cutscene. Sonic and Knuckles' classic rivalry has never felt more present. This is great. Oh, thanks, I had no idea. Oh hey, I know this guy! So the gimmick here is that you're holding onto his tail and have to hold towards the direction Shark is swimming. It's a decently cool spectacle, getting pulled around by this thing. It's pretty engaging. Hold on for long enough and you get the opportunity to deal some damage. I will say, sometimes the inputs here don't really feel like they register. Like, I don't need an Unleashed doorbell sound, but at least give me some type of acknowledgement so I know it's working. Oh hey, another Starfall. I only have 100 coins, guess I could always use some more? Well, I don't have much of a choice, do I? 266 is what I ended on here. I don't think I could use any more. Please stop. Something else I like about this island so far is that it encourages climbing a lot more. Like, climbing this structure here gives you about 3 levels of experience, a good reward in my eyes. It honestly got me thinking back to the old days of finding hidden 1-up capsules. It's a really nice feeling. With another Chaos Emerald gained, we have another cutscene, and here we're able to see this world's Titan, who resembles a big old dragon. And again, thanks to Sage, he goes aggro on us, and we're thrown into this chase sequence. It's a pretty cool moment, though the entire island's design has changed, which totally threw me off. Also, the quickstep is super delayed now, which explains why I barely used it, I guess. This used to be such a quick and snappy move, now it's so slow and takes forever to come out. What happened to you, man? So Sonic's able to take cover with this weird ghost shadow, and the Titan loses us. Oh, here's a great idea for a challenge. You gotta beat up this dummy and do 50 damage. That's really clever, actually. Let's see how I did. Oh, okay, yeah, it's worth mentioning again. These challenges are way too easy. If you've seen my Banjo video, you'll know that I really dislike this sort of gameplay. Just doing busy work that's not hard at all. It feels like a waste of time. I remember seeing this image floating around near the game's release, and, well, this would be funny if it wasn't so horrible. And while these challenges do suck, I will say they're not that bad. They're short enough to where they're pretty inoffensive, and there's enough game around these moments to keep them from being a total sore spot. I definitely wish they were actual challenges, but as it is, whatever, they're over quick. I can look past it. I really like how they gave the Coco new designs in this world. They're more desert nomadic themed, which immerses you into the area a lot better. I appreciate this detail a lot. This is a game that is lacking nearly any polish, so seeing details like this are worth appreciating. I also like how you could always see the Titan flying through the sky as the threat literally looms over you. That's really cool. Oh hey, Sage.
Father was right about you.
Father? This cutscene is a good example of what I was talking about before, with Sonic's character feeling more heroic in this game. Like, he actively stops Knuckles from hurting Sage here, even after she shot some light at him. He really just wants to talk things over with her, and seeing this more, I do like it for his character. It fits pretty well, though it might be a little bit overblown in this game. I definitely prefer Sonic just being a normal dude, but I get this approach. Man, Sonic's jump in this game is really lacking. Like, it's so weirdly hard for me to jump over these canyons. I guess it's because you lose pretty much all your momentum when jumping, which, yeah, it does kind of suck. It's not usually a problem in this game, but it really stuck out to me here. Oh hey, some enemies. Let me just give them an old psi loop and... Oh, the floor's slightly uneven. Guess I just won't then. I don't really get what's up with this Y and B move you're supposed to do after parrying. Like, I swear, I'm pressing the buttons together, but it never works. Wait, what? Does Sonic not get hurt from the cactus? I see. Cyberspace time. I'm not sure if this one's from another game, but it isn't very good, so probably not. I just want to point out that I went backwards to get this red ring I missed, and I still got an S rank. Why? Red rings are so inconsistent in this game also. So many are just on the main path, but a rare few actually do take effort to get to. It's like they had to know, right? I just don't get why most of them are so basic, when clearly they are capable of putting them in hidden places. Whatever, it's a nothing stage, moving on. Alright, this looks like a cool area. An invisible wall? Really? But the waypoint is that way, what? Oh my bad, had to come in this way. Very open world of you, Sonic. So the objective here is to loosen this seal in order to drain the water in the oasis. Luckily, there's this missile here that we can carry. Yep, that looks finished. And we can shoot the pyramid to make the plug rise. Wait, what? There's nothing down here but Coco. Why did we drain a water source in the desert?
Well, hey, you've revealed the way forward. That's what's important.
No, I didn't! So it looks like Knuckles made some Coco friends as well, but this time they're soldiers and they're pinned down by a lot of nothing. Ah, I see, they had to get into place for the minigame, of course. In this one, you gotta carry the Cocos to Knuckles, but avoid getting hit by the towers. Though this one has a bit of a twist, where the more Cocos you can carry, the faster you can run. Which is pretty helpful considering I can't boost now for no reason. But okay, maybe the true fun comes from getting as many Coco as you can so you can be faster. That makes sense. But actually no, because the towers also speed up with you, which makes this final blockade literally impossible to pass, so why even give me the option? Whatever, this one's stupid, give me that. I continue to be impressed by this world though, there's a lot of unique set pieces here. It feels way bigger than Chronos, but in a good way, like all the space is being utilized well. It's fun to look around here. This game only has 4 level themes, doesn't it? You know, for as tedious as 2D cyberspace is, I really am glad they added in the drop dash here. Truthfully, I've barely used it in the overworld, but here it has some real applications. It's a great addition. I also did everything in this one in one try. Again. I think this might be based off the Rooftop Run 2D section, I'm not really sure though. I wish they were just transparent and use the level themes from where they're taking these designs from. Like if you're gonna copy, you might as well just go full banana. It would have been nice to see Windmill Isle again, honestly. Anything's better than these same themes over and over. What happened to that city theme? I feel like we haven't been there in years. Ooh, a new boss. It's been a while, alright. This one's pretty fun once you get a hang of it too. Basically, Tank creates a sandstorm that sucks Sonic in, leaving us only able to float around him. It sort of reminds me of that one mini-boss in Colors actually, just a lot more fleshed out. Here you gotta hit his proboscis a bunch of times and it'll flip him over, giving you the opportunity to do some real damage. But getting to that point is pretty tough. Tank has a lot of attacks that totally caught me off guard, so it's no walk in the park. I really like how the speed of this fight is totally influenced by the way you play. If you're able to time your homing attacks well, this battle will be over in no time, but that's only if you have the skill necessary to do so. This is how a Sonic boss should be. Shark might be exciting to watch, but this is exciting to play, and that's worth a whole lot more to me. Oop, time for another sepia cutscene. So this flashback sees the Coco soldiers readying their defenses, only to get absolutely pummeled by this laser shot. And yet again, the Coco of the present pass on. Rest in peace, guys. I will forever cherish our time together. And another Eggman cutscene. Not much really happens, again, but still nice to see him. It's weird though, here it's implied that Eggman created Sage, which brings into question how she's able to control the Titans and have such a good grasp on cyberspace. There's definitely some pieces here that we don't quite know yet, and I'm excited to figure them out. You know, these running challenges could actually be good if the time limit wasn't totally ridiculous. Like if I'm able to stop and look around during your timed race to the finish and still have 20 seconds to spare, maybe something's wrong there. Oh hey, I finished the skill tree, I guess. Not much fanfare for doing that. Not like it really deserves fanfare though. Yeah, I think this whole skill tree system was a bit of a bust. Not only is it not really a skill tree, it's more of a skill square than anything, but nearly every ability you unlock is pretty superfluous. None of these moves really combo into each other. You just press a button, watch the attack happen, press another button, repeat. You don't have any reason to switch up the moves during combat, so a lot of them are just useless. Truthfully, I don't really care how basic this skill tree is, I wasn't expecting much, but something this simple can only be supported by really good abilities, which isn't what we have here. The slash move is honestly the only one I could think of that provided me with a constant reason to use it, and that's mostly because of how overpowered it is. There needed to be more unique moves in here to vary up how you address combat, because with how it is, we're pretty much left with two possibilities. Slash move, or pressing a button move. Also, we're not even halfway through the game and I've already unlocked every ability. I feel like that shouldn't be the case. This last move I unlocked is pretty cool though. It gives me a chance to come back with a huge attack after getting hit. That's a good final unlockable. But I feel like the button should probably be different every time instead of always just being A. That seems kind of easily exploitable. Though sometimes you just get hit without getting knocked back at all, so maybe not. Man, this platforming challenge right here is what I think this game could have used a lot more of. Functionally, it's not too different from what's seen all over the island. There's still balloons and rails and dash rings just floating about, but the scenario itself is actually linked to the environment. You're running through old ruins here, suspended in the air diegetically through these pipes. I know it seems kinda dumb, but this really does go a long way into creating an immersive world that's capable of this type of gameplay. There's even the classic Sonic multiple pathways here, with the higher ones being faster but harder to get to. It's genuinely good. I only wish there was more of it. And Eggman cutscene. I really like Eggman's characterization here though. He respects Sonic as an adversary and acknowledges his power. This is an Eggman I could totally get behind. Someone who knows what Sonic's capable of and tries to work around it. Not someone who just leaves him alive on the Death Egg for no reason and doesn't even chain up his legs. Like what?
You let the hedgehog live? That is a great source of concern!
Yep, sure is. Man, I really do like the idea of this enemy, but he always spawns his guys in the exact same spots, which means all I have to do is homing attack the left side and it'll work for every encounter. All they had to do was make this random. I'm really surprised it's not. This is a pretty alright boss. You have to side loop him, then bounce off the walls. It's kinda neat. I had the pleasure of fighting him again 2 minutes later because of another Starfall event, and yeah, there's really not much to him. It's a fine fight. Dude, I have 500 coins, just let me keep playing the game. Like, I could treat this as optional if it didn't give me this big pop-up on the screen. Can I disable it? No, of course not. And in bosses like Tank, it really doesn't help! Though I will say now, after fighting him again, Tank is a little bit busted. Like, sometimes your homing attacks just stop for no reason, it sucks. Or sometimes it just doesn't let you homing attack him altogether for seemingly no reason. I still think it's a fun boss, but I just wish it worked completely. I know I said it before, but I really do love the environments here. Like, this cyberspace portal area looks beautiful, genuinely, this is great. And the cyberspace stage is... Skyrail? Wow, okay, we really are pulling from everywhere then. And I'm all for it. This means we could get Twinkle Park, or Lost World from Adventure 1, or Egg Fleet from Heroes, or Asteroid Coaster from Colors, or... This is the last game they pull from. Yep, seriously. No Adventure, no Heroes, no Colors, no any other 3D Sonic game. This is just another case of them holding back for no reason. Cyberspace only takes level designs from Unleashed, Generations, and Adventure 2, which leaves out so many good possible stages. And this one is a lot of fun too. This is the most control I've felt in a Sonic game in a really long time. This level plays great. The renderings are still stupid, but that's par for the course at this point. This is still probably the best cyberspace stage we've gotten so far, and part of that is because it actually feels complete. It doesn't take only a segment from the original like the other cyberspace levels have. Here they reproduce the entire thing. During my S rank for this, I actually had to try and memorize the stage, and I had fun doing so. Foreign concepts, I know. I just wish that they pulled from everywhere in Sonic's history, not only 3 games. This level is a testament to the fact that the boost formula can work anywhere with some tweaking, and it's a shame they didn't take advantage of that, and rather opted to give us Generations Green Hill split into 3 different levels, because that's what everyone wants. I'm grateful we're seeing Adventure 2, no doubt, but again, it leaves me wanting more. Oh hey, Coco Roundup. Again. And yep, they still drop bombs for no reason, but this time they cause a sandstorm that only wastes your time. What a blast. And no Chaos Emerald for this one. Okay, guess that one was just added for fun. Yep, fun. So looking at these ruins gives Knuckles a flashback to Sonic 3? What?
Yo, Nux!
Sonic, this looks like ruins from back home.
But they don't. There's no ruins in this picture. Why give us such an immersion-breaking weird reference like this if it doesn't even make any sense? And if you really want to reference Sonic 3, could you not have just taken a Sky Sanctuary screen cap or something? Did you not want to play that far? Is this really all you had? Okay, yeah, I'm nitpicking, I know. I do like the scene though, honest. Knuckles finally finding another possible link to his ancestors, showing some weakness, that's great characterization. And it's the type of thing I'm really happy to be seeing from this game. But yeah, these towers are attacking, and we gotta stop them. Okay, well, I'll hit them with the old reliable slash move, and Oh, my moves are disabled. Great. Yeah, this is a lot more fun, thanks guys. Well actually, it turns out it's like this because these towers play by different rules. You're supposed to run up them and stomp the head, and not attack the body at all. We should explain that before dropping me into this timed mission because... Okay, after doing the mission again, we defeat the towers and finally collect a Chaos Emerald. We give a last salute and these Cocos pass on as well. And yeah, the good Knuckles stuff carries on here, because I really like this scene as well. Though I think the message might be a bit off. Sonic tells Knuckles to get out there and live a little, but he can't. He has to guard the Master Emerald, even if he looks away for a second this happens. I get the idea that Knuckles needs to loosen up a bit, accept friendship, that stuff's good. I just don't think it was conveyed in the best way here. Feels a bit oblivious, honestly. I know I'm nitpicking again, I just like Knuckles, what can I say? Ah, some more enemies here. Let me just give them a Psyloop and... Oh, that's how you get the infinite boost. I thought it just came from completing challenges or something. Yeah, I may be stupid. Though in my defense, this is definitely an oval, not a figure 8. I'm glad I got to figure that one out naturally though. That was really nice to learn. If only the whole game had that confidence. Wait, it just occurred to me. What's the point of experience anymore? I'm out here at level 62 with nothing to spend it on. It makes doing tricks and finding big experience chunks a little bit hollow, I'd say. It also doesn't give me much of a point to kill enemies now either, but they still drop portal gears sometimes, so I guess they're still worth fighting a little bit. Just wish there was something I could spend all these levels on. Like at least let me transfer it into Coco or something, come on. Man, rail jumps are so fun in this game. Like I don't know how you were supposed to get here, but I don't care, I made my own way, and that feels really good. Yeah, okay, I think this parry challenge pretty much confirms they changed the system during development. Like there's no way they designed this to just have you hold a button 3 times. It had to be harder at one point. I hope. So here's something I learned through a pressing button puzzle of all things. This game has a bounce ability. Nowhere near as good as Adventure 2, mind you, but yeah, it's a bounce alright. It's really weird to activate though, which is probably why I had no idea about it for this long. You have to already be in the air for a while for it to work, so if you stomp too fast, nothing will happen. You also have to hold the button, which doesn't come too naturally. You only get 3 bounces here too, and then Sonic's had enough, I guess. It's another cool ability to have. I'm really glad Sonic has a lot more moves this time around. It doesn't feel very useful though, kinda tacked on honestly, but I still like it. And here's another really cool section. You get to explore the underground ruins and what's left of them. What a cool environment. But that can wait for later, I got some fishing to do. And yep, this sure is still pressing a button. Well, to be fair, sometimes you do have to press it twice. That's progress. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier that you can find these scrolls here. They basically just allow you to fast travel to either the Elder or Hermit Coco, which is a good reward for sticking with it. It's really annoying how they don't tell you if you caught all the new fish in an area though. Because they do in the overworld, just not the actual fishing spot. So if you want to know if you've truly caught everything, you have to leave the area, go through a loading screen, then check the numbers on the statue, which probably won't be 100. So then you have to go back in, go through another loading screen, and then finally you could fish again. They really couldn't have put this number somewhere in here? Like seriously, how did they not think of this? I only ended up knowing I caught everything because I got an achievement for it, come on. There's not much else to say here though. The fish are still neat, the Eggman memos are still cool. You see him starting to think of Sage as a daughter, which is neat. There's also a lot of references to older games, which I'm sure longtime fans will get a kick out of. And this still has the best summation of your inventory in the entire game. Wow, we've really come a long way from the beginning of the game, guys. Instead of just putting out candles, now we have to put out candles in a specific order. That's right next to the candles. Now that's progression. I know that experience levels are pretty much irrelevant now, but it's really stupid to me that you could get 3 levels at once just for breaking a random crate, but killing actual enemies only gives you a small sliver of experience. I'd get it if these were saved solely for hidden spots, like I mentioned before, but so many of these are just out in the open. It gives fighting enemies even less of a purpose. Why is this so lopsided? Ugh, Shark really becomes draining fighting him for a second time. It becomes very clear how dull this fight is. All you do is just watch a cutscene and hold directions. It's not fun to watch anymore at all. Luckily now I'm leveled up enough to kill him in one go, but yeah, you'd have to be a total bozo to like this boss.
I don't think this ancient machinery was active before. Any idea what changed?
Something similar happened on the last island. Let's just call it a little divine intervention.
Stop doing that! Alright, it's time to play the skill crane, though luckily this crane doesn't take much skill at all. It's funny because as long as you're in the general area of where the ball's supposed to fit, the crane just snaps to the perfect position and gives you it for free. I honestly don't mind this, I don't want to spend all day in a stupid crane minigame, so yeah, no complaints from me. So yep, it looks like we've unlocked the way to the next boss. But again, before doing that, I wanted to explore the island a bit more, to make sure I didn't miss anything. And this is when I realized that you don't need to already be in a combo to use the slash ability. So any reason I had to use the Psyloop in combat quickly vanished again. All hail slash attack. Please, Cyberspace, give me something new. I'll take anything. Okay, you know what? I'll take a Sky Sanctuary at this point, whatever. And this is another stage I actually recognize. It's Draken Road Act 3, which is a very weird pull. It's an extra stage from Unleashed that's like 30 seconds long that no one but me probably played, but here it is. And it works fine. It's whatever. The S rank took me a second playthrough, so that's an achievement. Here's where Sonic's cyberspace jump is really noticeable though. It's incredibly stiff in the air and moves about a circle strangely. It's very weird, and it makes harder platforming like this a total pain. It's not that hard, but I wish the jumping was better here. Or those highly touted options actually worked. That'd be nice too. Fighting Tank again reminds me, something else I don't really like about the combat is that when you're doing one of these phantom rushes and it ends, you just lose the ability to keep attacking. Like the attack reticle just up and disappears and you're stuck punching the ground, which in Tank's case makes another phase start, so that's great. It makes me not want to use the phantom rush at all because of it. Also, Sonic in this game just dies sometimes. You see, when Sonic gets hurt in any other game, you're given a few seconds of invincibility, which lets you regain your bearings and get back on your feet. But this game must have taken some inspiration from Sonic Adventure 7, where when you get hurt by an enemy, not only do you fly backwards and can't do anything, but you're still fully susceptible to damage, which was just a brilliant decision by the devs here, truly. I actually do kind of like how brutal this is, but it doesn't fit the game's difficulty at all, and when it happens, I'm just left dumbfounded. Though I did notice it to happen the most during this tank boss, actually. It's unfortunate this one has so many problems. I really do like the concept of it. Oh well. Oh hey, another Starfall event. Just what I was asking for. And I only have 614 coins. Alright, I'll just try to ignore it. Keep getting medals. Wow, this sure is the Sonic equivalent of texting and driving. 200 coins. Just like that. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Okay, now that I'm in cyberspace again, maybe if I leave, it'll be gone. Please? I can't even tell where my waypoint is because of all these lights in the sky. Just go away, please! Thank you. I'm sorry I raised my voice, I didn't mean it. Oh yeah, this game has a waypoint system, by the way. You put a mark on the map, it puts a big orange beam in the sky. It's helpful when you're trying to find medals, like I am here, but I do wish you could place more than one at a time. This is fully a 100% completion problem, which only applies to lunatics like me, but opening the map after every medal just to put a waypoint on the next medal gets a little bit tiring after a while. I wish they let us put at least 5 at once, each one with a different color maybe, that would have been nice. And yeah, you heard me there right, I am getting every single medal here, even though I already know it doesn't count towards map completion. I told you I was insane. Sonic Frontiers gameplay loop is honestly really addicting though. It's just fun to hop in, explore, do some mini challenges, hop out, it's a good time. I still do have a lot of problems with this game, but as it is right now, there's no denying it's genuinely a really fun time. I'm enjoying myself here, and if a video game's able to do that to me, I think it deserves recognition for it. Oh hey, new cyberspace, I hate fun. So this one's based off the 2D sections from Modern Generation Sky Sanctuary, which doesn't really work, because originally these were just little snippets to break up the action, but now they are the action. They even managed to screw that up though, because they don't even have the little chase sequence with the robot, where you gotta beat him to the button. I really like that in the original. They instead replaced it with nothing. In fact, I don't even know where this little opening leads to. It wasn't a red ring, because I already got all those, and I have no reason to explore it, so guess I'll never know. Goodbye. So during my time searching for more medals, I learned that rail jumping actually isn't the only way to launch yourself vertically. Instead, you could just run into a wall. Yeah, for some reason Sonic just gets launched depending on the wall's angle, and it's really janky, but sort of fun. It really just makes me wish this game had a spin dash though. Like, I'd be bashing my face into walls and just thinking, is this really the best way to be doing things? And the answer is no, we've seen it in the past. Spin dash jumping off slopes is still fun and reliably works. And there's so many places here where it would have been perfect, but instead I'm relying on wonky physics to do their work. Rail jumping is still super fun and really useful in this world, but come on, the spin dash is a no-brainer here. And if we somehow get a Frontiers follow-up with no spin dash, then I'll be very disappointed to say the least. Speaking of that vertical movement though, I should mention that I was able to use the spring guide to totally skip a challenge and get a medal from it, which felt really good to do. It'd be cool if more enemies served a double purpose like this. Like you could use them to get certain places you couldn't normally. I think it's an idea worth exploring. Maybe you're not all bad, spring guy. Maybe you're not all bad at all. Alright, enough dilly-dallying. I've gotten all the medals, fought all the new enemies, done all there is that's worth doing here. Let's go finally fight Wyvern. But first, we gotta get up to him, so it's time to climb this tower, which is pretty much identical to the one we climbed before in Chronos. But okay, we're at the top and we can jump right on. But first, I guess we have to... Wait a minute. No. It cannot be. It's... Here's to the ones that we— Oh, actually, no, it's not Squid, because you see Squid's trail traveled at 60 frames, whereas Wyvern's trail travels at 2. Very important distinction. Okay, luckily this part is over quick, though, so we can finally collect the Chaos Emerald atop Wyvern's head. And now we have another supersonic boss fight. Gigantos was pretty fun, so naturally I'd expect the quality to at least match that. So, is the fight good? Well, no. It's incredible. This is the best supersonic boss fight we have ever had. Maybe even the best Sonic boss fight in general. It is so triumphant and cool and fun, I can't get enough of it. Where do I even start with this? Okay, so the whole thing is an aerial battle, which sees you and Wyvern soaring across the entire island. No longer is Wyvern looming over you from above. You're right there with him, ready to finally take him down. The sense of scale here is just amazing. You're flying over the island that you spent so much time exploring. All that time rail jumping and head bashing just to get up to places, it all feels so small now. You can do anything. Chasing down Wyvern, weaving through missiles, catching up and beating the tar out of him, it feels so right. And none of this would even come close to how it is without that music. This metal mixed with punk rock, it sounds so good. And paired with this gameplay, it's a match brought down from the gods. I really can't put it into words. Everything here just feels so great. Is it still a bit unpolished? Yeah, sure, but it didn't matter. This is the coolest thing to come out of a Sonic game in years, and I am gonna cherish that. You actually have to time your parries here too. It's so well put together. Big, you prepared me for this. With this music, even the quick time events feel awesome. The spectacle is right, the music is right, the gameplay is right. Everything about this boss is right. This is Sonic at its peak. With Wyvern defeated and Knuckles cheering us on, we could head to the final Titan. You're goddamn right. Though, of course, now we have to get shot down again, so... You right there, Sonic? Yeah, this game's formula is pretty clear at this point, but as long as it stays fun, I don't have too much of a problem with that. Not every game needs to have some crazy story backing it up. It can be simple if it has good gameplay. This is a cool looking world too. Ooh, look at that volcano. I can't wait to explore that. Oh, this island has little yellow wrenches to collect. I wonder who we're gonna be saving this time around. Oh, another treasure spot. Let's see what free item we're gonna be getting this time. Oh, a dash panel? Okay, I mean, I guess that's better than just getting free stuff. It makes me engage more with the world. Alright. And yeah, here's a spring. Okay, I could get behind this. I'm affecting the world, no matter how small. I like this. Alright, so maybe I could go up there? Oh, there's another spot. Wait, that's the same spring. Huh? Maybe that's just a glitch? Oh, okay, that led us back here, and really? What's the point of this? I'm fine with the idea of uncovering spots that help you get to challenges. I prefer it to just getting free stuff, but this isn't how you do it. Now I'm just gonna be uncovering the same spring a bunch of times. This is stupid. And yep, it still does give you free stuff. Okay, so now we got ourselves 2 problems. Good job, guys. Oh yeah, I should mention that during this debacle, I found this new guy, Kenobi, but again, you can just hold parry and win. It's functionally the same fight as Ninja, just with a different name. Whatever. Oh, it's Tails.
Hang tight, little bro. I won't make you wait much longer.
I don't know, he looks pretty happy to me. Alright, 9 more wrenches, I could do that. Wait, no! 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 Wait a minute, I have almost 1,000. Maybe it'll cap at 999 and finally let me be free. It's a long shot, but it's the only chance we have. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Big money, give me those coins. Oh hey, these guys react to your side loop, that's pretty cute. No whammies, give me the big bucks. Yeah! 999. Ah, it's still there. It's still going. Ah, where'd I put my noose? Ooh, wow, those mutations are really starting to get bad. And this is pretty interesting. They chose not to use an Oxford comma there. That's a bold move. Okay, really, this is a cool moment though. I like how Sonic barely keeps it together for Tails. But as soon as Tails phases out of reality, Sonic drops the facade and is just dying on the floor. Oh, more normal enemies. Let me just... A guard? Alright, looks like enemies got interesting again. I'm gonna cherish this because I know it won't last long. Oh, look at this new bird enemy. He doesn't die from slashes either? Wow, this is like a whole new game. This bird's actually pretty involved too. You have to parry his beam and then time a swing onto him. After that, you just have to wait for him to kill himself, but it's a neat interaction regardless. Later, I did learn you could stomp him instead too, so that's good. You know, it's kind of odd how you can break 2D sections by just walking backwards. I mean, they do have things for you to find here, so I guess it's kind of intentional, just a bit strange. Feels like they didn't think about it too much. And yeah, those rewards include a bunch of rings, okay, and a bunch of XP, okay. This building's kind of annoying in general though. Like, I see a bunch of different paths here that I want to explore, but each and every one leads to the same place with no wrench along the way. Since when was the game like this? Leave that for cyberspace. Speaking of that, oh, I recognize this. This is Green Forest. Okay, that's one of my favorites from Adventure 2. I could get down with this. You know, in the original level, these parts were stupid too, but at least they looked kinda cool, had some speed behind them. This is putting me to sleep. And man, homing attack chains suck now. What used to be a quick way of killing enemies and boosting your score now takes forever. You're making Sonic 06 blush. Why should I even be killing these enemies? There's no score. This is just genocide. If they end up including Metal Harbor in this game too, and they still include the homing attack section, I think I might lose it. Oh yeah, I remember this part. In the original game, there was a power-up hidden over here. And, oh, I could still go that way, cool. And there's nothing over here? What? You couldn't have put a red ring here? Even 10 rings? 1 ring? Nothing? Really? What? Why even have this part? Are you kidding me? Whoa. Okay, I don't want to keep harping, but in the original version, the point was that you could actually hit the spikes, and you needed to be careful how far down you went. What's even the purpose of this section anymore if you can't do that? Am I playing a beta version of this level or something? And man, this falling platform section, come on, it's night and day. Well, that sure was Green Forest, but way lamer. I just don't get the decision to include these stages if you're gonna take out everything that made them cool. Like, on its own, this is fine. If you never played Sonic Adventure 2, this probably won't mean anything to you. But this is a direct reference, so why nerf it this much? And honestly, this stage is kind of fun to speedrun. There's definitely something here. But you can't expect me to not compare it to Sonic Adventure 2, when it's literally stolen from Sonic Adventure 2. Just make your own stages, guys. Is it that hard? No, it isn't. You've done it. I noticed that sometimes, seemingly at random, the animation for getting the lightning boost just doesn't play, which I'm not going to complain about, but it's weird. I don't know why it doesn't happen sometimes. It would be nice if we could skip it altogether every time, but I'll take what I can get. What the hell is the point of that? Whoa, okay, Fortress, hello. What do I... Oh, do I have to jump on him myself? Of course not. Oh, I see. Rails. Yeah, this is another squid-type boss, but luckily this one is a lot less agonizing. There's no watching Sonic go through loops, you just grind on rails, dodge the attacks, and you can catch up to him. It's a fine boss, inoffensive, like most of the bosses in this game. And this is a really nice area I've landed in too. It's good to see a color here that's not just gray. And man, just walking around here, picking up Cocos and purple coins, it really just makes me wish the whole game was like this. No stupid platforms and springs cluttered up everywhere. Just an environment to run through and thoroughly explore. Now that would be nice. And it's not this game. Oh no, only 120 seconds to solve this puzzle. Whatever am I gonna do? So it's clear the game wants me to go to that island over there, which I'll probably have to spawn a rail to or something. But there are these dash rings up here, so maybe I can just cheat it. Okay, that only took 1 million years, but hey, we're here. Let's do it. Okay, get back here. Oh look, more enemies. I wonder if I could... Okay, so upon freeing each of Sonic's friends, they give you a new special ability. They weren't too noteworthy, so I didn't mention them before, but this is Tails' ability. The slash move, but better. And that means it breaks through shields, I guess. So there goes combat. Again.
Shave me down, make me round.
Why does there have to be 50 boost pads all to get into one micro challenge? This keeps happening where I think I find a new route, but no, it just cycles into this challenge I've already done. What's the point? Why not have the start of the challenge be the start of the challenge? Man, Sonic is still just hurting over here. Like, you need a Tylenol or something? I have some. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I already have 999 purple coins. I guess I'll just stop collecting those then. You seeing a theme here, guys? Alright, Cyberspace, what you got for me now? Generation Sky Sanctuary. Okay. Sure is that. Moving on. I've been noticing a lot more 2D sections on this island. There were a few on the other islands, here and there, but nearly all of these challenges have been 2D. And I'm fine with some 2D, but these are getting kind of annoying and they don't fit. I especially don't like these classic springs that you can't homing attack, so you're forced to just run into them, which is just kind of a nuisance, really. And it's like, you look at this challenge, which starts all the way over here, but why? It's built right into the environment. You could basically skip all of it. It's weird. But alright, let's get our next Chaos Emerald. Oh, hey there, big guy. Nice, saw. Okay, yeah, I know the drill here. Let's run. To Squid? Yeah, I think I'll take that saw, actually. Well, in all fairness, this is just another chase moment, like with Wyvern. Though this time it takes place on Squid, and it's entirely 2D. It's an okay sequence, kind of slow, but it's fine. Though it really threw me off that stomping is just totally disabled during this. I don't know why they keep restricting your controls during these moments. It's really disorienting. We're able to get away, though, with Squid dead forever. Oh, I see. Wait, what? The timer doesn't keep going if you fail? Then what's the point of the timer? To see if I can walk fast enough? What?
I analyzed the cyberspace portal the last time you were accessing it. While you were online, it opened up a flood of data. It was way too much to process, but I did get a glimpse of the Ancient's personal data.
This does give some interesting context to cyberspace, though. It seems to function as a fully expansive database of pretty much everything, which is an intriguing concept to say the least. This database including Windmill Isle Act 3, apparently. Okay. So this stage's gimmick is that it's all rail grinding, and even though it's not very fun or fast or engaging anymore, it did make me appreciate how much control you have on rails in this game. Like, I could freely go back here to collect a red ring, something that'd be pretty much impossible with the older Sonic games' rail systems. That is one of the best things about Frontiers to me, and something that I will always compliment it for, how much control you have over Sonic. It is way too easy to lose control of yourself in the other Boost games, especially Generations, so it's nice to control a Sonic I could be a lot more confident with. Now, if only the level design gave me a chance to express that. Ah, this is pretty cool. Looks like the mountain gets more frozen over towards the peak. Combining your fire level and your ice level is always a good choice to me, so I hope there's more to see with this. Oh, hey there, guy. Spider? Oh, let's go! I can finally Psyloop someone's legs! I don't know why I've wanted to do that so bad, but I am now validated. And you could do multiple at once if you're fast enough. This is pretty cool. There's then this skydiving section, which is alright. I think you're supposed to fall through as many of these blue circles as you can, but it's not really explained what they do. It looked as if they were attacking him, but his health bar stayed the same. Maybe they provide more time for him to be vulnerable? I don't know, I killed him pretty easily. Neat boss though. Though something else I've noticed that's annoying about combat in this game is that you can only homing attack guys if you're looking at them. And with the way this game's camera works, this just becomes frustrating. It's nice that it keeps us from homing attacking random things, but for combat I think they should just let it slide. Hey, I could use the bird to get to this distant island, that's awesome! Another good double-purpose enemy, you love to see it. Ah, you don't love to see that though. But this time I'm ready, with some infinite boost. Can't compete with that, eh, Squid? Now your cutscenes are only slightly irritating. And bam, it's as simple as that. Out of all the enemies to bring back, Squid, really? That one was your guys' favorite? Alright. Okay, here's a perfect example on why 2D sections don't work in a game like this. So here I enter a challenge by accident, and I've already completed it, so, I want to get out. And as you can see, there's nothing physically stopping me from just walking along the Z-axis. But the game seems to disagree. So, how do I get out? Well, I just have to keep going and hope the game decides I'm ready to. This is so stupid. If you're gonna have 2D sections, fine, but don't have them right in the way like this. Or at least give us a way to easily get out. This happens way too much on this island, and it's so irritating. Just let me explore your open world game, come on! The worst part is when you miss the trigger for the 2D section altogether, so everything is just broken. And this isn't because I got there in a way the game didn't expect, mind you. It's because I came in the wrong way, to the section that's on the ground, in an open world game. This goes against everything that makes open world design fun and interesting. Why is it like this? This island has honestly felt like it was designed by a completely different team. What's going on here? I can't even have fun in rail jump when it's like this. I'm stuck in 2D, come on. It's like here, why can't I just walk back and attack this guy? Why am I limited to 2D? If you're gonna force it, at least build level design based around the concept. Am I crazy? Is this not just basic intuition? Have I gone mad from writing 24 pages of this goddamn stupid script?
How long was I gone? No!
Tails, there you are. Come on, bring me back to normalcy, buddy. That didn't help. I love this goofy ass film grain though with these moving PNGs. It looks so funny.
So, that was a thing.
Uh-huh. Okay, cyberspace, give me your worst. Ooh. Ah. Wow. Well, we have drifting, and it is terrible. This is the worst drifting Sonic has ever seen, bar none. It might have been a bit hard to control in Unleashed, and a bit useless in Colors, but at least back then it still felt fast and frantic. This is neither of those things. This level completely misses the point of the drift itself. You are supposed to feel like a race car, you know, drifting? This is so slow, and not to mention controls horribly. And I'm trying to boost here, I promise you. But instead, Sonic just glows? Why are you glowing? You know it's bad when everyone agrees the fastest and most fun way to play this level is to skip the drift pads altogether. If this is what you guys think drifting is, then I'm okay with it not being in the series anymore. Rest in peace, my old friend. Some of these enemies have dementia, I swear. They just forget they're fighting you. Feel kind of bad for them. It's nice that it's pretty easy to skip the 2D trigger for these rail sections, because now I can have fun and do rail jumps again. But I just wish it was normally like this. I shouldn't have to go out of my way to make this enjoyable. Hello, Excavator. Goodbye, Excavator. Hello, Excavator. You know what? I'm gonna go do my laundry. It's still going? You know, out of all the challenges in this game, somehow jump rope is the most engaging. Oh hey, computer, you got games? Oh, they got Galaga, nice. So yeah, this is a hacking mini game where you gotta shoot the guy in the middle. It's, alright. Pretty out of nowhere, but it works and is over quick, so no notes. I think I skipped a bit of Tails dialogue by doing this though. He was over here before I used the computer, and now he's over there. Which is kind of annoying, because he probably would have gave context as to why one of Eggman's big robots from Forces is here, but oh well. Wow, there's actual 3D challenges here. It's been so long. Oh, cyberspace. And we're back to 2D. But this level is actually really good. This might be my favorite cyberspace stage, honestly. I don't know if it's based off of anything, maybe an extra Unleashed level, but it definitely feels like it was made for this game. Like, Sonic's new movement system actually feels tailored to this kind of level design. Crazy concept, I know. But there's tons of fun skips you could do here too, and pretty much all of Sonic's moves get a moment to shine. This level's pretty long as well, so getting the S rank actually takes some effort. It may be only 2D, but this is how you make a Sonic level. There's no moments of watching things happen or any dull gimmicks. This is just a stage that's fully focused on speed and platforming, which is how it should be. Also, fun fact, upon beating this game, this was the stage I went back to try and master. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers has an arcade mode that unlocks after you beat the game, where you can basically go back to any cyberspace stage and try to get a new time. Or any time. They don't translate over for some reason. This would be great if there were online leaderboards, or you could share times with your friends, or have any times to work against. But, nope. Can't do any of that. This is purely for personal achievement now. Even though this feature was in Generations 10 years ago. But okay, yeah, this stage is still really fun to speedrun, and this is where I learned the game's magnet dash technique. Basically, when you go to homing attack something, you can boost during that animation, which causes you to get an immense burst of speed. It's a bit tricky to time, but once you get it, you'll be flying through some of these stages. It's a really fun exploit, and it makes some of these duller cyberspace stages feel actually fast. Like, as if you're playing a Sonic game. Huh. Getting back to the present, I decided to climb this Death Egg robot, you know, just for the fun of it. And it really did make me wish that climbing was a bigger part of this game. It's so fun to do. It honestly sort of reminds me of Yooka-Laylee. Yeah, remember that game? There you could climb pretty much any surface or crevice, and it made for some really creative and fun skips. The game had its problems, don't get me wrong, but being able to get that creative with your movement through the world design alone felt great to experience. And you could sort of do the same here, it's just these structures typically have no real gameplay connection. Like, this Death Egg robot is solely a set piece. I don't get anything out of climbing it, and the same goes for pretty much every other building in the game. This really illuminates my point about how these challenges aren't seamlessly connected to the world, but rather wrapped around it. And I just wish that wasn't the case. So the opening brings us underground, which looks pretty much the same as it did in Ares. And after going through more needless 2D sections, more enemies you could kill with your eyes closed, and a million zillion rings, we're able to make our way out and grab our next Chaos Emerald. And here we go again. I do like that Tails brings up how pointless this is, and Sonic is now the one who gives him the reason. It means that Amy actually rubbed off on him a bit. Though, still no mention that Sonic gets Chaos Emeralds for helping these guys. Maybe he's really just being an opportunist here. Alright, so here's a weird minigame where we gotta collect some nuts and bolts by breaking these boxes. And it's fine, but it makes me wonder if maybe Sonic Team should have spent more time in other areas of this game. Like, there's nothing functionally too wrong about these story challenges, but none of them I'd say are fun either. I'd much rather them have made a better open world than devote time to these. Like, honestly, would anyone really miss these if they were gone? Is anyone gonna say their favorite part was mowing the lawn? So we get a Chaos Emerald, and I guess we're able to complete the cannon using those nuts and bolts. Yeah, sure.
Did I get the wrong parts?
No, their hero didn't show. They're worried something's happened. It's like how I couldn't handle it after Infinite attacked.
What? Oh, I see. So using the drop dash stops the lightning boost cutscene from playing. Alright, drop dash, keep making me proud.
Can you take our friend and find a couple more parts?
Can do.
What? Yeah, I guess Sonic's really dying over here. I don't know what's up with him. Oh, hey Sage, long time no see. Yeah, if it seems like she's been absent from the story for a while, that's partly my bad. She has been around, it's just she never contributes anything really. All she's really done is float around, watch things happen, claim it's the end of days, and that's it. I'm sorry, but this character is on par with Zor from Lost World. She just is depressed and doesn't do anything. It's not very interesting. The best we get from her is from these Eggman memos, which isn't really saying much. Though, alright, we finally get another full scene with her and Eggman. This is what I want to see. So Sage proposes that Eggman work with Sonic in order to get out of cyberspace, which Eggman promptly refuses. And that's it. Great. Oh wait, no, there's more. So in this scene, Sage destroys some helicopters. Eggman thanks her, and that's it? What? Did they forget to play that one earlier? Also, something I noticed during these cutscenes is this game has a really weird habit of, like, resetting the lighting after each camera cut. It's all over this game, and it does not look good. Hey, would you look at that? A wrench you gotta climb to, alright. That's a start. Oh, hey there, Spider. Sure, I'll fight you again, why not? Oh, this is the same fall sequence as before. Nothing's changed. Really? Would it not make sense to make this part random? I already know how to do this one. I proved that I can. Come on now. Oh, looks like I gotta put out those twinklies again. Didn't this used to be a night-only challenge? What happened to those? Did Sonic Team realize they were stupid halfway through making this? I mean, I'm not complaining.
Sonic? Am I a burden to you?
What? Yeah, okay, so Tails' arc here is that he's feeling uncertain about his ability to do things alone, with his always relying on Sonic. You know, the usual. And the game even acknowledges how inconsistent Tails has been. And it's just like, why are you trying to tell this story then? Tails already had this arc 20 years ago. And okay, fine, if you want everything to be in one complete canon again, I guess it is worth addressing. But why did they have to do it in the most melodramatic way possible? Out of nowhere, we just have Tails go, woe is me, for no real reason. It really reminds me of how he's written in Lost World, where he's just super bipolar, getting mad at Sonic for basically nothing. It made me laugh there, and it honestly still makes me laugh here. And also, Sonic brings up a good point. Tails isn't useless. He's actually pretty important to all the games people claim that he's useless in. In Unleashed he flies the tornado, in Colors he builds the communicator, and in Lost World he saves Sonic from the Deadly Six's trap. Even in Forces, it's arguable that he helps quite a bit. I'm pretty sure the sun would have literally burnt everyone alive had it not been for Tails. This feels like a fan concern that was dragged into an actual Sonic game just to appease people, all done with fanfiction writing to boot. I can respect trying to course correct, but I don't think the execution is there. I wish they went for something else with Tails here, because this just doesn't work for me. But okay, apparently the bridge is out, so we gotta get to the other side. Which means shooting up into the sky, of course. And this mission is pretty bad. You're supposed to be going through these yellow ring things that give you a boost down, but they're actually slower than just avoiding them altogether. Each one plays this animation and then totally cuts off your falling speed from before, completely slowing you down. And it also doesn't help that the final section has you watch this totally epic cutscene as your time whittles away and you're failed despite having made it through the whole course really cool. But yeah, avoid the rings and you'll be fine. Classic Sonic stuff. Enjoy your Chaos Emerald. And now our little buddy is finally able to pass on. Hooray. Oh, there he is.
Of all the ancient temples I've been in, this one might be the coolest.
Sonic, you're outside. Yep, and Fortress hasn't changed his attacks either. Didn't these guys used to get harder? I could have sworn Squid did different things each time I fought him. Either way, they should. Alright, Cyberspace, last time you really impressed me. Let's see if you could keep that going. Let me just... come on, just get in there. Alright. Oh, it's classic Sonic chemical plant from Generations, except with no physics. Fun. Isn't it so cool how the red rings are on the bottom path, despite this being a huge level with tons of places to hide them? Because I think it's pretty cool. Well, here's another neat thing I discovered about the drop dash. You're able to roll up this ice, which usually just slips you right off it. It's a cool way of forcing you to switch up your control techniques. I really wish the rolling itself wasn't super jank, but this is still cool. I really like different movement styles leading to different results. Man, most of these challenges are actually way more engaging when you skip the 2D trigger. And that's kinda sad.
I think I need to go it alone for a while. I can't grow into my full potential if I always fall back on you. If that's okay.
You're free to go your own way.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I do genuinely like this conclusion. I want Tails to do his own thing, but that's only if they actually stick with it, which I'll believe when I see at this point. And you know, I thought Tails was melodramatic. Dude, I don't even know what to say about this next scene. Why are you blue? So say just a sad, woe is me, I've got no family tree moment, but it's just so weird. Like, it shows moments of her and Eggman bonding, but it doesn't really come off that way. These scenes are just them talking business. We watch them. I don't know why she'd remember them fondly of all things. You know what she would remember fondly? The things that happened in the Egg memos, but I guess those just weren't in the budget. And all the while, this really terrible humming plays in the background that's like supposed to be sad, I guess? This moment is just laughable. I don't have anything more to say about it. Get me out of here. Man, it's like they're trying to give rewards for me climbing around, and I like that, but rings aren't a finite resource. This reward just means nothing anymore. And this goes double for experience too. If a Frontier sequel ever happens, they really need to make the collectibles actually difficult to obtain. Because if the system's like this again, I don't think I'm gonna be exploring that game at all. Aw, man, this is disappointing. It looks like I can't get into the volcano at all. You slip down this ground no matter how you come at it. Though there is a door here, so maybe that'll lead inside later. I'm actually excited to explore an area of this world. Well, I'll be. Sonic has a bad tendency in this game of thinking I want to do a special move when I'm just trying to homing attack. This never becomes too big of a problem, but it's really annoying when it happens. They should have really made these combos actual combos. There's also no option to turn certain abilities off, so you just gotta deal with it. And I know I said it before, but I have no reason to fight enemies anymore. All I get out of it is losing rings, so I think I'm just gonna be skipping them from now on. Which I didn't want to do. I wanted to really get into this game's combat, learn all that it had to offer. But I see no reason to do that now, because there's always a clear best way to succeed. So why should I learn to deviate at all? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the Werehog did it better. Not only did he have a much more diverse set of moves that actually comboed into each other, but if you wanted to kill certain enemies efficiently, you needed to truly apply your skills in pertinent ways. Some enemies in Unleashed were tough, and took a wise use of your moveset in order to succeed, which is how combat like this should be. It might have been a grind and not very fun in my opinion, but at least it rewarded a skilled player if they chose to master the combat system. There's no slash move to win all the encounters for you, you actually had to play the game, which Sonic Frontiers does not require. Well, at least we have another area that's fully immersed into the environment. Too bad it's entirely 2D, and not very fun, and doesn't work right. Okay, so that's the last Chaos Emerald. Ooh, alright, and Tails is at the door.
Great. So, how do we open it?
See that switch next to the door? I think it'll react to the cyber energy stored in your body.
What? What switch? I didn't see a switch. Oh, I see. There is no switch, of course. Alright, finally. We can explore this... What? Oh, it's just as I always wanted. You know, my least favorite part about pinball tables is how much there is to do on them. I'm glad the Sonic series has always got my back. That's the least of this table's problems though. These physics, my god. Sometimes the ball moves like a rock, sometimes it moves like an actual pinball, and sometimes it just changes directions altogether. And this score you have to get to, my god, why is it so high? I know that you can get score multipliers to make things easier, but those go away when you lose a ball, which is very easy to do and also never your fault. This will have you longing for the days of Casinopolis pinball, it's that bad. And there's no trash room this time around either. You have to play this until you get the high score, which thank god I finally have. Do I want to retry? No. What? Excuse me? I did clear it. I had no more points to get. What? That took me 10 minutes. Okay, so after 10 more minutes, I did it again. And apparently, I had to go through that hole in the ceiling. Okay, yeah, totally makes sense. So doing this erupts the volcano and seals us inside. Huh. That could be interesting. This clears the smoke from the pit in the middle, where the Titan has just been chilling this whole time. Oh, I guess we got out somehow. So I guess that means there is no volcano to explore. Only a pinball table. I don't know if I like this game anymore, guys. Okay, all jokes aside, this island has been really bad, honestly. The challenges have been annoying, the combat's been meaningless, the missions have been infuriating, the story's been stupid, and the bosses are all uninspired. The island itself is visually boring too, and its actual interesting locations aren't fleshed out upon at all. I don't know what happened when they were making this one, but I'm not having fun anymore, and that's sad to say. I don't know. I need a minute to reflect about this. Or at least try. What is it with this game's reflections? Whenever Sonic or anything else gets in front of a reflective surface, the space around them disappears. This can best be seen in Big's fishing spots, but it's all over this game. I think in a lot of regards, this game is capable of looking great, but the water always stands out to me because of this reason. It was also really noticeable on the metallic walkway back in Chronos, like a million hours ago, and the fact I can remember that should say something. I don't know, is this a nitpick? It just looks wrong, like it's a glitch or something, I don't know. Aw, come on, there's not even more egg memos to buy? It's like the only good part of the story. I guess I'll just have to buy some cocos and seeds then. Oh, well, that's weird. It looks like the seeds don't sell out. And I have nothing more to spend my money on, so... yeah, that makes sense. So here's something totally annoying I learned. When you die, whether it be ridiculously out of your control or not, you don't keep the things you collected unless the game just saved. The way I thought the autosave system would work is that it would trigger after I collect each important item. You know, like how any other autosave system would work. But no, this one just seems to go off whenever it likes, so unless you like saving after every wrench, be prepared to lose a few. There's still one cyberspace stage here, so let's run through it real quick. This is Missouri Day from Sonic Unleashed. Well, the 2D section from it anyway. And it is fine. The red rings are still stupid. You have a huge stage here, you can put them anywhere, they don't have to be literally unavoidable. But I don't know, man, what more can I say? It is worth mentioning that this game's 2D stages do have a lot more camera turns and dynamic angles, which is nice compared to Force's, but I just wish the level design was more involved. The S-rank time, I guess, took some effort, so that's cool. Could you tell I'm running out of things to say about these levels? All of them are just remakes of other levels, and all of them are kind of equally mediocre, so it's hard to come up with new things here, guys. I'm sorry. If you would like me to stop talking about cyberspace stages, please leave a comment. I'm sure it'll affect the rest of this video. You can trust me. How does this island have another interesting place that they do nothing with? There's a bunch of these hexagonal rocks here, all of which you can actually climb, which really surprised me. This could be fun. But there's nothing to do here. There's just springs that send you away from the area. Why is this even here? The only wrench somewhat near it is way up in the sky. What is up with this? Directly after, I did discover an island full of these things, but they're still just used as set dressing. You have no reason to actually climb them or do anything related to them at all, and this just baffles me. There's nothing hidden on them, nothing to find, nothing to do. Why even put them in? There is a challenge here I actually do like though. You have to match the blocks in the middle by dropping the corresponding blocks in the correct sequence. It's not a great challenge, but it requires a little bit of thought, and that's surely better than none. Alright, and with that, we have collected every wrench on the island. I feel your pain, Sonic. So let's finally head into that crater to face Knight. So Knight's opening attack is to kind of awkwardly skate around and spawn spikes. Yeah, I don't know either. Oh cool, I'm dead. Eventually, he'll throw down his stretchy arm, which you could kind of just grind up straight to his head, which is a bit disappointing. It sucks how Giganto was the only Titan you really had to try to climb, and even then it wasn't by much. Like, I get not having it for Wyvern, but grinding up Knight's arm is not much of a challenge. It pains me to say that Asura, the first mini-boss you see, is basically a better version of this. But anyway, we make it to the top, grab the Chaos Emerald, and transform into Super Sonic. And this boss is quite the letdown, honestly. I do kind of like the concept for this one, that Knight has a shield, but he only uses it as such during the beginning of the fight. He then throws it at you, which you could ride back to him, while rockets kind of just blip in from nowhere trying to stop you. Then after that, he throws the shield again, which just bumps into walls for a while, All as he does is classic awkward spin. So you have to parry the shield and throw it back at him, which is another good concept. You have to throw the shield where he's going, that's neat, but you only have to do it once. So just like that concept's gone too. My main problem with the boss is just that it feels so easy. Like, I never died to either of the previous Titans, but they still felt like fights, and had such good spectacle to keep me involved. This doesn't have any of that. It feels like I'm just going through the motions. And maybe it's because I'm over-leveled thanks to Big's fishing, which is causing this to feel so easy. But if that's the case, maybe they should put a cap on that then. And the moves you're supposed to parry are so telegraphed. Wyverns were fast enough to catch you off guard, but these take years to come out. And I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling this music either. It's good, surely, probably the best thing about this fight, but it doesn't fill me with the same energy as Giganto, and especially Wyvern did. Though maybe that's just because the boss itself is lame, I don't know. The fight ends with Sonic picking up Knight's huge sword, which is another cool concept, but you're not actually playing this part, you're watching it happen. And Sonic's not even touching the sword, come on. And just like that, Knight is split in two, ending the battle, without me really doing anything. If you say so. So we see a bunch of spires pop up out of the ground back at Kronos, and now we're there. Don't know where our Chaos Emeralds went, but okay. Tails is also here. Somehow. Cool. So we're told to silence the 6 towers, and ooh, Sonic is really not looking too hot. Oh, so this is apparently not Kronos, it's Rhea. Huh, I could have sworn it was Kronos. There's also nothing to do here except climb the towers. There's other structures like this classic Frontiers copy-paste tower, but there's nothing on it. I can't even climb it fully, it's just here. Weird. So, alright, I guess I'll go to the actual first tower then. And yeah, this is more of the same usual platforming, though it does feel a bit more difficult, like things are ramping up, so that's nice. So we silence the first tower and get a bit of a flashback to some ancients talking about using the Chaos Emeralds to escape something. Oh, also, yeah, that is their actual name, the Ancients. I don't like it either, but that's what they're called. And on to the next tower we go. Man, it's so weird. There's tons of buildings here, but they don't want us to explore them. I guess they are just reused from other areas in the game, but it still feels so off to see them alone like this. Though maybe that was the intention, I don't know. The next tower is not much different from the first. There's some tricky rail stuff here, but here I am again at the top in no time. So we silence this tower, and we're shown another film grain cutscene, where the Ancients fly from their planet before it's split in half, leaving them with no home. Sonic is also getting a lot worse, with the corruptions from before really trying to take him over. Luckily, he has some power of blue within him, which keeps him going. Wait, this is a totally original structure, isn't it? I haven't seen it anywhere else in the game. It's so weird that it's just here, with the game wanting you to run right past it. Feels wrong. Well, on to the next tower, and this one is more of that great 2D from last island, with all of its problems along with it. I gotta say though, I really do like the music here. It's so epic feeling, and it fits extremely well as we ascend higher into the sky. They really made this feel like the endgame, and I like that a lot. I think I should take this time to comment about all the island music in this game, as there's nothing more interesting going on right now. So each of the islands have a main musical theme to them, each with multiple different movements that you hear as you progress throughout the island's story. Kronos starts with a very somber piano theming, to match Sonic's doubtful presence in this new world. But as the game continues on and Sonic learns more about the world around him, the music becomes increasingly triumphant, adding in more instruments like violin. It's some really nice stuff. Some of it is frankly beautiful. Then for Ares, it goes full into the desert theming, with instruments native to those real-life regions, like the Duduk and Santar being at the forefront. It fits the area extremely well, and hits super hard when the sun is shining down through the foliage. Much like Kronos, the movements also get more intense as the game progresses, with the music increasing its pacing, almost to match the threat of Wyvern above you in the sky. This is some great stuff too. I think it might be my favorite of the main island themes. For Chaos Island, they combined the piano from before with a looming drum repetition to match this scorched and dreary world, which is all supported by the opera-type melody in the background. This one sounds less good to me, but it's still pretty nice. But as the tracks become more powerful, that's when they really start to hit for me. They feel like an adventure is taking place, and despite the treacherous road ahead, you have confidence. And of course, Rhea Island has my favorite track of all, fitting with the theme of scaling and conquering these towers. So I do like the music in this game, quite a bit, but I don't think it works for Sonic. So many of the pieces here are atmospheric. They aim to build upon the world around you, but in doing so, they create tracks that don't have much of a long-lasting appeal. Something you could always rely on from Sonic games was their bombastic and catchy music, but that's just not present here. I can appreciate the intent, and I think in places it does really work, but in general, these tracks are just too atmospheric, and it all becomes a bit forgettable. I wish they had combined this feeling of atmosphere more with the Sonic music we've seen in past games, as a middle ground between these two would have been amazing. And if you're about to say that it's not possible to have calming piano music that's both atmospheric and memorable to Sonic, then I raise to you E102 Gamma. And now here's the biggest problem with the music. It doesn't reflect the gameplay loop. So much of this game is Sonic bouncing off springs, going through dash panels, popping balloons, and most importantly, rail grinding. All of which don't match any atmosphere these tracks tried to create. If you look at just the visuals of these islands being paired with the music, then yeah, it's a perfect fit. But combine those with this type of gameplay? And no, it just doesn't work. I can definitely enjoy these tracks on their own, they're truly well put together pieces, but they just don't belong in a game like this, and that's my main issue. But alright, we finally made it to the top, and we have another flashback to watch. So the alien ships are drawn into what I presume to be Earth, as the Chaos Emeralds on board react to the Master Emerald on the ground. Which, now that I think about it, means that the Chaos Emeralds come from these guys. Interesting. Alright, to the next tower we go. What? What? Here? What enemies are there even to respawn? Why? You know, I think I'm with you, Sonic. Let's just die. Oh, hey, there is an enemy here. I remember you. Good times. Alright, well, impaired or not, I'm climbing this tower. You can't stop me. Oh, hey, I remember you too. And you changed your attack pattern. Wow, good to see you're doing better, man. Don't remember you. Oh, I just have to stomp 3 times. Okay. Oh, I get it. So this is the basic enemy tower. Alright. It's another 2D section. And to the top we go. What you got for me next, flashback? So we see the ancients describing cyberspace, how it's a complete history of their civilization, and it can be activated by their little Coco hearts. This scene also takes place in one of the underground rooms we explored earlier, except there never was a cyberspace portal there. Though maybe it's just another copy-paste job, who knows. Wow, these water graphics. You know they're impressive because they lag your Dreamcast. And Sonic is not looking too good either. But onward we must go to the next tower, which also has an emphasis on 2D. But this time it's rail grinding. It's fine. Next flashback, and here we see the Titans being empowered by the Chaos Emeralds, which apparently were created with the purpose of fighting off their enemy. The Elder also mentions that if this fails, some of the other ancients will bring the Chaos Emeralds to the Master Emerald. And alright, 1 tower is all we have left. Let's go shut her down. But man, there's this whole sunken ruins area here. I feel bad just passing it up. Someone probably worked hard on this. But alright, no distractions. I gotta do this. So the last tower's gimmick is that it's all about these climbable walls. And this surprisingly gives us some of the most involved climbing in the entire game. I actually have to do things myself. It's crazy. Well, not all the time, there's still tons of dash pads here, but there are some moments where you're left to use this game's climbing mechanic without any help. If only they had trained you a bit more for this, but regardless, this is still what I like to see. And with that, we've made it to the top, ready to unlock the final tower. Back in the past, however, the Ancients are unable to defeat the threat, so the guy operating this new gun Titan decides that the only way to stop it now is to seal it within his Titan, and then them both within cyberspace. This is a good cutscene, but I just can't help but laugh at my dude writhing in agony and his Coco being like, But yeah, with the enemy trapped, the other Ancients fly off in their Titans to seal it in cyberspace. I don't know why going into the sky would do that, but yeah, alright, point taken. Back in the real world, Sonic is trapped in the red dimension now, as his brain, finally breaks, and no amount of blue can fix it. It seems everyone else is trapped here too, making things really desperate now. Oh, I guess they got out, actually? Okay. So according to Tails, all that corruption trapped Sonic between realities, leaving him as a sort of vegetable, unable to move or think. And I really like this idea. We haven't seen anything this serious since 06, except here it's not stupid. Oh, also Eggman is out of cyberspace now too. Despite Sage wanting to put him back in, why take him out then? As it's revealed she was only keeping Eggman in to protect him from it, with it being that disembodied woman space voice, which is what the Ancients had been fighting all that time ago. So I guess it turns out that we accidentally freed it. Huh. Luckily, Tails is pissed and wants to help. So his plan is to drive the cyber corruption back out of Sonic's body, which, yeah, sounds good. How are you gonna do that though? By forming a ring?
Sonic, we're even after this. Ha!
Uh-huh. What? Really? Really? I hate to be that guy, but Sonic 06 did this better. There, Sonic was dead, so his friends decided to actually do something about it. We had a whole bunch of mini-levels dedicated to getting Sonic back. It didn't end well, but it was something, anything. Of course I know they're not going to introduce a Tails, Knuckles, and Amy gameplay style out of nowhere, but you really couldn't give us anything here? Not even a single level in the red dimension? Or anything? The Sonic series has had so many moments of presenting a cool, game-changing idea, and then just dropping it immediately. We've had Null Space and Mecha Tails, the mind control device from Colors, and while those last two don't really bother me too much, people criticize them to hell. But this is honestly worse than all of them. They have hyped this moment up for the entire game, and it ends like this? And you know what, if you just want to ditch it in a cutscene, fine, but this is the worst way of doing it. They hype it up like your actions throughout the adventure have caused this, and all these character arcs have led up to your friends being able to save you. But that's the problem. These guys were already all friends. If the previous events and story arcs of this game had not happened, nothing would change here. Of course they would still save Sonic. He's Sonic. The only way for this to work is if it was someone who didn't know Sonic to begin with, and throughout the game their bond strengthened, cultivating in this moment. But they could never do anything like that! And now I really have to ask, what is Sage? We never see Eggman create her or them meet or anything like that, so I'm forced to assume she's this little chip from the beginning of the game. It pulled an Eggman against his wishes, and it sounds like Sage to me, which, okay, is fine, but why does she look like this? I'd assumed throughout the whole game that she had something to do with the Ancients, but no, she just collected their data. So seriously, why does she look like this little girl? It's never explained. Throughout this whole story, I figured that the twist would be they were in cyberspace the whole time. Spooky. That would explain why this game looks like a Unity test demo and has this atrocious pop-in. I seriously was banking on that, which looks stupid in retrospect, I know, and I'm not mad I was wrong. I'm mad because this doesn't make sense. How does cyberspace work? Isn't it supposed to be a record of the Ancients' history? So why does Eggman only visit the highway parts? What even are these highway parts? I didn't see any highways back in the Ancients' land, so what's up with this? And likewise, why does Sonic only visit Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary? I know they try to paint it later as if these were Sonic's memories, but that also doesn't make sense because most of these stages don't take place in those locations. And Sonic never even went to Skyreal, what? If Sage isn't natively from cyberspace, then why does she have the same corruptions as Sonic? Do those come from leaving cyberspace? Because the keys aren't affected by this when they leave. Does this mean anything can get out of cyberspace? If Sage can do it at will throughout the entire game, why couldn't whatever the threat is? I'm sorry if any of this seems like nitpicking, but nothing is explained here. This is a game that's really trying to take itself seriously, and tie together the entire Sonic canon into one comprehensive story. So I think it's reasonable to be asking these questions. Sage is supposed to be this huge new character, but she makes no sense on a fundamental level. Unless I'm missing something here, I think they dropped the ball on this hard. And this is a tangent. We were talking about Sonic's corruptions before, which are even worse. How does the gang magically solve this problem? Through the power of friendship? Are we not past that trope by now? How did they even get here? Through the red dimension? And are they put back into cyberspace? Can you do that by will? I know that I'm being harsh and that I should just go with the flow and not worry about it, but as someone who loves a good story, I want to see this be better. There are the makings of an incredible story in this game. There's great character moments, an interesting backstory, cool set pieces, but none of these good things can carry a terrible plot. Because if I'm being honest, that's what this is. Barely anything happens in this game's cutscenes. Almost all of it is just standing around and talking, with the spare moments of action solely performing as segues into more of that same formula. The interesting parts of this story are either not explained, off to the side, or just given little time to breathe. You can reference older games all you want, and try to build up these characters to new heights, but if nothing is happening in your story, then it's a bad story. People are relentless to 06 because of all the Princess Elise capturing, but if we're being real, what's the difference between that and this? Both are Sonic doing the same thing over and over again with small changes. I said earlier that I don't mind the formula as long as the game stays fun, and I did mean that. Until Chaos Island, I didn't care that the story was repeating itself, because I was having too good of a time to care. But not only am I not having fun anymore, but when looking back on the adventure, I can't really say it was an adventure. I stood around and talked to my friends, that's the main story here. I don't need a plot as convoluted as Adventure 2, or as needlessly complicated as 06, but if the game's gonna present its story as important, I want that story to be good. There may be great moments here, but they are diamonds in the vast, vast rough. And I don't want to have to keep digging. But okay, let's get back on track here. So Sage begs Eggman to team up with Sonic, and Eggman isn't going to say no to his basically daughter now, so we have another team up. And now we're on a new island? What? How did we even get here? This is the last island, by the way, meaning that this game's world themes are grassland, desert, volcano, grassland, grassland. Yeah, it doesn't feel quite right, does it? These new enemies seem a lot tougher though, which is nice. You can't just kill them with a slash attack immediately, you have to try a bit more now. Alright. Wait, so since this is a new island with new collectibles, who are we gonna be saving this time? Is it Silver? Oh, no, Sage. Okay. With the same collectibles as Amy? That's weird. You could have at least colored them differently, like you did in the HUD here. These Bulbous boys are back, but you still just have to stomp them 3 times. Not much of an enemy then, is it? Especially for the last island. Oh man, it's Red Pillar, watch out! This guy's just a more aggressive tower, which you could still kill in the exact same way. It's not very interesting. These little hyenas are kind of cool. They'd form a ring around you, and you have to parry them, which requires a bit of timing, because each one comes out immediately after the next, so that's nice. Oh, I guess we still gotta do the cyberspace thing to get keys for the Chaos Emeralds, even though nothing happened to cause them to spread out here, but okay. And this stage is... oh, Metal Harbor. Oh, and they use balloons here instead of enemies. Okay, that works pretty well. Wait a minute, if balloons can pop quickly, why can't the enemies? They're specially made for these stages. Why have such a long recovery animation? Why not have them function the same as balloons? Be a lot more fun, that's for sure. But yeah, in general, this is an okay recreation of Metal Harbor. It just lacks all the flair, and the style, and the fun. I do like how, to get a red ring, you have to go up to the top section, but unlike before, there's no score bonus or time limit up here, so it just comes off a bit weak. At least you could skateboard. Yeah. So here's something else weird about this game. If you stomp on a spring and don't touch the ground after, you can't stomp anymore. You can only stomp once per Sonic being in the air, which is a really strange limitation. It really screwed me up here, because I was just, expecting to stomp. I don't know why they put a limit on this. It's just a stomp, not like we're going to be breaking the game with it. Very odd. Alright, finally, an actual new boss, Caterpillar. Well, maybe not entirely new. This rail bit control is really weird too. Sonic gains and loses speed at nearly random intervals. It's really disorienting. But once you get past that bit, you have to attack Caterpillar's back, while he sends a defense behind him. And this part I do like. It's actually pretty tough to avoid the attacks here. You have to think about how you're going to approach him. With a lot of these other bosses, once you defeat their first phase, they just let you wail on them without any defense. So I'm glad they're finally changing it up, no matter how late into the game you already are. Oh, this is a new challenge. Catch the falling target spheres. Okay. Welcome to the final island, everybody! Seeing a lot more 3D challenges here, thank God, but there are still some 2D ones, though luckily they're actually isolated instead of being right on the ground, so it's a lot better here than it was in Chaos Island at least. Look, I made a dog. And that's one Chaos Emerald gained, with no cutscene after, huh? I got pretty used to this. Oh, another big fishing spot. This one's just kind of out in the open, but I'm fine with that. Please let me get rid of these purple coins. And nearly all the fish here give you 48 tokens, which is a bit much in my opinion. Like, oh, you got a tire? Oh, 48 tokens, yeah, totally, tax write-off, so you know the like. And sure, it costs 8 purple coins to fish, but that's chump change. The purple coin economy bubble burst years ago. So in no time, you have 1,000,000 tokens to spend, still with no egg memos to buy, and with Cocos that don't sell out. So, do you know what that means? Where does Big have 3,000 Cocos stored anyway? Actually, I don't want to know. But before cashing all that in, let's hit another cyberspace level. And this one's completely original, and it's a good amount of fun too. There's a bunch of alternate paths and shortcuts you can take. It honestly feels like the biggest level we've seen so far, and it's the most we've seen of the city theme too, giving this level a bit of its own identity. Crazy concept, I know. It's still not great. I don't like how the red rings are all on the main path for one. Like, you literally have all of these different pathways built. Why not put red rings on them, please? I also really don't like how the lightspeed dash kills all your forward momentum in this game. It makes me not want to use it. This is definitely one of the best levels in this game, but it's still not great. I think that might say something about this game's quality. Hey, there you are, Elder Coco. I've been looking for you. Oh yeah, wait, you can only do one level at a time, and there's 99 levels each. But that means... Well, it only took 20 minutes, but I did it. I'm all leveled up. And ooh, you get a lightning boost forever now. Okay, that's cool. It also feels a lot faster too. This is nice. Of course, I also have 999 rings now as well, but the main draw here is definitely the speed. This is a good reward. Maybe not worth pressing A for 20 minutes straight, but still, I like the system. I do think that there were way too many levels here. Like, 99 is so many. I only had 30 up to this point. I think if they're gonna try this again, they should definitely streamline it. Have just a few speed levels instead of 100. Also, don't attach it to a method that takes years off your life, and we're golden. Wow, I'm really digging the enemies here. I'm actually using combos and stuff. This is great. It's how it should be. I still don't have any reason to be fighting them anymore. I'm at level 531, but I'm having fun with this. Oh, and we got a new boss here too. This one's unique, because you actually have to activate its spawn tower to fight it. And I like the concept behind it too. Basically, Ghost drains your rings using its towers, and you have to Psyloop each one in order to kill him. This would hit a bit harder if I didn't have a bazillion rings now, but I still do like the idea of this one. It makes you want to finish each platforming challenge as fast as possible. I do wish there was an actual fight to it, rather than just solely platforming and Psylooping, but it's fine as is. And here's another not new boss, Kanochi. Do I even need to say how you beat this one? Hey, my man, Hermit Coco, level me up, buddy. What's that? You could do it without me pressing A for 20 minutes? You're too kind! And just like that, I'm all maxed out. This is nice though, the Hermit reflects a little bit here. Gives me a nice goodbye. And now that's 2 Chaos Emeralds collected, still with no cutscenes though. Maybe there just isn't a story on this island.
You stray from the path. Turn back. Complete your mission.
I stray from the path? Excuse me? I just want to explore this forest. Why am I even listening to you? You're the villain. God, you gotta just love how transparent this game is with its pop-in. It does not care if you see it. In fact, I think it wants you to. Yeah, I guess I should fully address this now. This game has terrible pop-in. Some of the worst I think I've ever seen in a game. The most notable examples are pretty much any time it wants you to skydive with one of these flowers, but it happens all over the overworld, especially in Ares for some reason. There's no fade-in animation, no attempt to cover it up, they just have them pop right in and it looks hideous. The game's overall aesthetics really don't vibe with me either. Like, this world doesn't fit Sonic at all. There's none of that stylization that the series is famous for. This is all just generic. And while it can definitely look great in its own right, I don't think Sonic belongs here. I swear, this whole game just clashes with itself in every opportunity it can. It has these realistic worlds, but with goofy floating springs and platforms cluttered all over the place. It has beautiful, somber music, but with Sonic blasting around and destroying stuff like an idiot. It has a robust combat system, but has enemies that never require you to use it. It has great character writing, but with no story for those characters to do anything in. They give Sonic a completely new and free gameplay style, but they still force it into these generations boost levels. Nothing here fits together, and that's one of the worst parts about this game to me. It feels like a bunch of different people all wanted this entry to go in their own specific direction, with no regard for any type of overall vision at all. Did someone say cyberspace? So this is another completely original level, which is so nice to see. It's not so nice to play, but you know, they put some effort in here. There's shortcuts, there's a little bit of alternate paths going on here. It's not the worst. It's just not very fun. Oh, look at that, it's over. Oh man, hyenas again? I don't want to fight you guys, get me out of here. Oh, I see. What a fun enemy I'm fighting. I sure am going to profit from this exchange. Maybe get up to level 532, who knows. Silver Hammer Tower, how many kids do you have? And why are they all so easy? To give credit where it's due though, this is a nice new area. You know, when the water's not flickering into existence. This is something nice too. I like how the Elder Coco still thanks you for bringing back his kids. That's a nice touch. Yeah, I really do not like the execution of this final move. Like, oh, you hit me? Well, actually, I will press A and do half of your health. It should be harder than this. This is lame. Did someone say lame? Oh, hey, it's Chemical Plant from Sonic. Whoa, dude, is that a Chemical Plant reference? And the red rings are on the lower path, just what I like to see. I will say the bounce is pretty useful here, and probably would have been useful in some of the other 2D levels too. The S-Rank is also a little bit difficult. You pretty much have to take all the top routes. Sucks that the drop dash just stops sometimes, but I had a fun time learning this one. It's not bad. But I don't know, man. I'm just getting kind of sick of this. I can only do what is basically the same 7 or 8 platforming challenges so many times before it starts to get repetitive. I guess it is kind of my fault for getting every memory token to begin with, especially now that I'm realizing I will absolutely not be getting a reward for doing that. But I mean, they're on the map, they want you to complete them, I was just playing the game, which now I sort of regret. Alright, so the actual story again. So we have to create a bridge to somewhere, alright. Which means another attacking minigame. Yippee. This time I decided to just target the middle thing, because that's all you need to defeat here, and that worked out pretty well for me. I sure did hack that ancient tech, which will create a bridge out of cyberspace. Yeah, the reason for this bridge is to get the next Chaos Emerald, but before we do that, and this is another totally original level, wow. You know, getting all these actual new levels now really does make the older stuff feel a lot worse. Like, these stages aren't great or anything, but they're still fun. There's different paths, some interesting level design, these stages have a pulse. But the Adventure 2, Unleashed, and especially Generations levels are just so dull compared to these. Why try to get lightning to strike twice? Leave these levels in the past, that's where they belong. And I say that out of a place of love. I really like these stages that they ported. They're some of my favorites from their respective games, but porting them here to a movement system that doesn't feel right with them at all is just a massive disservice. And worst of all, it displays a lack of understanding. People don't like these levels because they're from their childhoods, they like them because they're fun, they're fast, they're unique. And none of those qualities have been transferred over here. Okay, now we could get the Chaos Emerald, though after climbing the classic copy-paste tower, my favorite. Oh hey, another night challenge, awesome! Is it not night right now? I can't tell. Could really use a clock or something in this game, or a way to rest until night. That would be nice. And makes sense. You know what, I think I'm done playing Sonic Frontiers for today.
The next day.
Oh, a level I could hide in here! And it's another original one, hoorah! Oh, I missed a red ring, let me just go back and get it. The gimmick is also not explained well at all. So you know these dash ramps that in every other stage lock your midair movement? Well, not here, welcome to the gimmick. And yeah, it's kind of neat. It makes you have to explore for the red rings, sort of. It's just nice to be able to have full control of Sonic. I kind of wish it was always like this. Though I know that would break a lot of the game design. I just like having full control of my character. I think a lot of people can relate to that. This one's alright. This game's really unclear about what walls you could walk on sometimes. Like, what's the difference between this wall and this wall? Nothing, that's what. Also, I really hate how the Psyloop just doesn't work sometimes. Like, I'm completing it, I'm letting go, but it doesn't go off. And I don't know why. Sonic's voice is also considerably less deep now than it was before.
I'm so used to using the Chaos Emeralds, it's kind of hard to accept they're from space.
Like, that's not just me, right? It sounds different now, doesn't it?
Without the Emerald's power, the island's functions eventually shut down.
That is why I drew them here. I hope to use the Ancients' technology to stop the emergence of their old foe.
Wait, so if Sage is the one that drew the Chaos Emeralds here, can't she just draw them all to me now? Seriously, how does this character work? What is she capable of? What can't she do? Whatever, that's Chaos Emerald number 5 now. I like how Eggman said he'd be getting them, but he's just nowhere to be found. Thinking about it now, it would have been funny if Eggman was this island's character instead of Sage. I would have much preferred to see those interactions personally. Something else I like about this Ghost Boss is that you can completely skip the platforming challenges if you use the environment wisely enough. Like here, instead of doing the mid-air platforming, I do a slope trick and get right to the final tower. I really like this, it makes you think about your environment in different and more complex ways. Wait, why is this not working? Why'd the music stop? Where'd Ghost go? Oh, my bad, I guess I had too much fun, made it despawn. Always gotta color inside the lines, that's Sonic's motto after all. My mistake, everyone, so sorry. Ooh, 3 gears, this must be a really good one. No. Man, what happened to those vocal themes in these stages? I really liked those. Now it's all just techno dubstep nonsense. Oh yeah, I should talk about the music in cyberspace, because it's very different from the rest of the game. So much like the Forces Avatar stages, a lot of these levels have some type of main vocal track, accompanied by a whole bunch of different music styles. And I like most of them, they're pretty pleasant to listen to. It helps that my favorite is also on my favorite stage. But there's a lot of other good ones too, like the one from the first stage. It's a good introduction to cyberspace, while still staying a bit mysterious. I made fun of the Green Forest one earlier, but I genuinely do like this song. It's got a good rhythm. And the Deja Vu one is a really good way to describe all the levels in this game. I really don't know what they become now though. Like, does this sound like a Sonic song to you? Oh yeah, and while on the topic of music, the theme for the current island of Reynos is pretty nice, but there's only one movement, which is really disappointing. Almost like this last island was rushed or something. Man, it's like this area could potentially look so nice, but all it does is show off how weird this game's reflection system is. It just doesn't look right. Can anyone tell me why this happens? Is this a glitch or intentional? I don't know. Okay, finally, it's night. I could do this challenge. Really worth the wait. And that's all the challenges here. Yeah, this world is really tiny. There's a couple of larger sections, and getting all the memory tokens still takes a while. But all in all, this is probably just as small as the first world, which is massively disappointing. Though we're not done yet, there's still some cyberspace stages, starting with this one, which again is original, and again has tons of cool shortcuts. Though this time they're a bit of a detriment, because you could finish this level in 25 seconds, like damn. It's probably the most inoffensive stage in here though. It happens and then you forget it forever. But this is actually where I realized why Sonic control's so weird in cyberspace to begin with. Half of it, of course, is because the game doesn't match your control options for whatever reason, but it's also because Sonic can only move in 8 directions here. They hide it with very smooth animations, but Sonic will always snap to one of those 8 directions, whereas in the overworld he has full 360-degree movement. This is terrible, and it's why Sonic is so easy to lose control of here. It worked the same in Forces, you only had 8 directions there too, which is also part of why that game is so weird to control. But here, you already have such a fluid movement system in the open world. Why would you restrict it like this? It's so odd, and makes so many platforming moments in cyberspace feel awful. We are in the year 2020-something. We should not still be restricting ourselves to 8 directions. That is stupid, plain and simple. This is a bit of a strange challenge. You have to play back the melody this organ-type instrument recites. It's a unique obstacle, that's for sure, but it feels so out of place. It's not even used to flesh out the map. It's to open this random door. Sorry, deaf people, I guess you're not allowed to do this one. But I guess you don't even have to, now that I think about it. You can just fast travel beyond it in 2 different ways. This game's so weird. But yeah, beyond this door is our final cyberspace level, so let's get right into it. Oh, it's over. Yeah, this is a pretty simple one. The gimmick is fans, you go straight, and that's about it. It honestly reminds me of one of those extra Forces levels that focus on a sole mechanic, and it's about as fun here as it was there. Alright, bye forever, cyberspace. Please never come back. Okay, I've gotten nearly all the tokens now, I've done all the cyberspace stages, I've fully completed the map. I think it's time to get on with the story. What you got for me, Sage? Oh. Man, these guys must really like Galaga. You know, what's stopping me from just only keeping one of these guys alive, so that way I can barrage the center? Nothing, that's what. Okay, well, it does spawn more eventually, but those are also pretty easy to manipulate. Yeah, guys, keep using those same attacks. I'm sure they'll get me one day.
Emerald number 6, here we come.
But first... Okay, I'm sorry to do this, but I just have to know. Yep, there it is, Kronos Island. So we did go back to Kronos, I wasn't crazy. But why is it labeled like this? Rhea Island? That's like calling America and Canada 2 different islands. Last time I checked, that's not how it works. This is just so weird to me. Why is the game segmented like this? There's tons of places on Rhea that are ripe for exploration, but there's nothing to do in them. It makes me think this was a last minute change, and they just took half the Kronos map, put some towers on it, and bam, endgame event. And the worst of all is that this means the same goes for Aranos. I had my suspicions before, but there is no doubt in my mind now that this was also part of the first island at some point in development. It uses the same assets, the same aesthetic, basically the same music. And if you still don't believe me, look at the first ever Game Awards trailer. There's Kronos, there's Rhea, and there's Aranos, the tip of its pyramid in full view. Which means I haven't been playing the Triumphant End, this incredible new open-world Sonic saga. I've been retreading through the beginning. Why did they do this? Chaos Island works enough for a finale. Why extend the game in such a weird way? Ironically, in Sonic Team trying to give this game more length, it actually ends up feeling more incomplete. You explore Rhea Island and it feels as though something is missing. You explore Aranos Island and you can't help but feel you've been there before. Structuring the game in this way makes no sense, and it makes the last quarter of gameplay just feel flat. It's so strangely dishonest of them to try and pass these new islands off as new content. I feel like I'm playing an unfinished game again, which I am so sick of when it comes to this series. I'm done here, man. Give me that last Chaos Emerald. Let's finally do this. Oh yeah, in case you were wondering, Eggman gave us the actual last one in this cutscene, with his glowy ass nose. Wait, where even is the last Titan? We never saw him anywhere on the island. Oh, in the ground? Alright, very nice of you to wait, man. So this is Supreme, our final Titan of the game. He's got a huge gun, a red skull, and the spirit of an arcane god within him. This is gonna be huge. So the fight starts and he's firing yellow diamonds at us, which bounce supersonic around. Alright, that's something. So the goal is to destroy these prismatic machines blocking Supreme, but we can do that pretty easily through simply parrying his yellow face lasers. And now we're able to attack him, and do over half his health, Jesus. Oh, no, he's had enough, and now he's grown this large set of wings. Alright, what are we gonna be doing now? Oh, the same thing. He doesn't even have his wings anymore, what? Oh, but this time it's slightly harder to parry his face lasers. Yeah, and now we can just wail on him again, though he does employ a genius technique, which is to stop taking damage. I should have thought of that one. And again, man, his attacks are so telegraphed. There's no challenge to parrying them at all. How is Wyvern the only boss to get this right? So yeah, after not doing damage to him for a while, he finally decides to pull out his gun. Alright, it's about time. This is where it gets good. So he shoots at us, we press X, and then nothing happens? What? The shot just disappears, his gun just disappears, what's going on? And now we could wail on him again, no defense or anything. And that's it? What? Did they make this boss in an afternoon? What the hell was that? Oh, no, okay, so the purple within him has escaped back into space. Sage tells Eggman that it's gonna reclaim its true form and that she has to leave. We then get a really emotional moment from Eggman, like, damn.
I understand. Go. Fulfill your function.
Alright, so Sage takes control of Supreme and we both head into space for the final battle. Now this is gonna be huge. And there it is. The end.
He took your home world. He took your lives. Are you going to let him do it all over again? I need your help. We can end this. Please.
Oh, that's funny. The camera angle made it look like it'd be another Galaga minigame or something. What? Welcome to the final boss, everyone! In the game with supersonic boss fights at the end of every world, most of which are amazing sources of spectacle combined with gameplay we've been trained for, and this is their final boss! What can I even say here? I'm at a loss of words. And not only that, but for it to be 6 minutes long, and if you get hit 3 times, you have to start from the beginning? Oh yeah, my bad for not having more experience at your stupid easy-ass hacking minigame. And the end just sits there the whole time and talks to us. Like, ooh, you're so spooky, it's the end of days. You're a moon, bro. All we see the end do is shoot these pellets at us. Are these what caused the end of the world all those years ago? Oh no, she actually does have a powerful laser move that comes completely out of nowhere and kills you instantly. So have fun tying to that your first time around. Oh great, she's doing her don't take damage strategy again. While in the boss fight where I really can't afford to get hit. That's awesome, I love this. Okay, finally, thank God. And this is actually neat. Supreme throws you like Giganto did at the beginning of the game. That's a nice bookend. And after hitting X a few times, we're able to shoot right through the end, who is doing something evil, as Sage decides she has to sacrifice herself, blowing them both up and finally putting an end to the end. And Sonic returns back to Earth to high-five his friends and not care at all that Sage just died, alright. Ooh, yeah, sorry Eggman, that really sucks. Ooh, better luck next time. Alright, gang, let's go home. Oh wait, there's one last Eggman scene.
Father?
That's my girl.
Wait a minute. What does the symbol mean? Throughout this whole game, it's displayed everywhere. It's in the cutscenes and the buildings, it was even in the first ever trailer. And yet we're leaving this game still knowing nothing about it? What happened here, man? Why does this game feel so unfinished? That Supreme boss fight was terrible. It took me like a minute to beat. Seemingly important parts of the fight would just disappear at a moment's notice. They barely even let this game's amazing theme play because this fight is so short. And the end, this huge villain that throughout the whole game is presented like no threat we've ever seen before, is just a purple moon? I'm sorry that I've been so negative during the end of this video, I really am. But I can't just look the other way on these things. This is incomplete, and I don't know why. This was $60. They had 5 years to make this game, and yet it feels like I'm playing a beta test demo. I know this game got rushed by Sega, they all do, but this was half a decade in the making. What went wrong here? It's been 11 years since we've had a Sonic game that's felt fully realized to me, and that's just pathetic. I hate that this game left me on such a sour note, because I did have lots of fun here. Sonic Frontiers is a game that I got a lot of enjoyment out of, and I'm not going to try to discount that. There's a simple archaic joy to this game that's hard to describe. You go in, you run around, you do some platforming, fight a thing, it's all fun. But I think that feeling wears off faster than they thought it would. And after that happens, what's left? And that's the absolute worst problem about this game to me. There's nothing to strive for. Every challenge that's presented here is just too easy. And I'm fine with Sonic games being easy, but there needs to be more under the surface keeping me engaged past that simplicity. What is there to truly master in Frontiers? There's the platforming challenges, but all those requires the most basic understanding of the gameplay. There's the combat, but the simplest answer is always the most effective. There's this huge open world, but there's nothing worthwhile to explore in it. There's the cyberspace stages, but there's nothing challenging to overcome. I'm left here with a Sonic game that I have no reason to come back to, and after feeling that same way with Forces, it makes me worried about the state of Sonic as a whole. The only source of replayability I personally had with this game was going back to cyberspace of all things. The Magnet Dash is really fun to do, and some of these levels are legitimately rewarding to learn and master with it. But this is all through self-applied challenge. There's no difficult S ranks to work towards, there's no hidden red rings that make you be creative with the level design, and there's not even an online leaderboard. I still do think the cyberspace levels are the worst part of this game, and yet they're the only thing I want to come back to. This take on an open world format just doesn't suit Sonic. There's fun to be had in it, don't twist my words here, but I don't think this is one where that fun will develop over time. I just think it'll sour. I did a YouTube poll not too long ago asking if people had any desire to play Sonic Frontiers again after beating it, and a good amount of people said yes, which I'm happy for. I'm glad you guys can enjoy something I don't, but it makes me wonder, why? Is there something to this game that I'm truly missing? Or have we just gone so long without a good Sonic game that people are willing to take what they can get? Any game that's somewhat interesting will be better than Forces, and any game that has a strong focus will be considered better than Lost World. But if being interesting and having focus is all that it takes for a Sonic game to be good now, then we've fallen a really far way. These games used to have those attributes by default, while still supplying great and memorable gameplay experiences along with it. I'm not trying to say you're wrong if you love this game, but I feel as though there's been a paradigm shift in the Sonic series that's worth examining. I just want to see these games be the best they can be, and I don't think Frontiers is anywhere close to that level. There's too many fundamental problems with this gameplay style for them to be able to continue with it in the same way. I just don't think it's suitable. So, what do I think Sonic should do next? Well, I think they should keep the same basic open world style gameplay, but go the Spyro route. Give us a bunch of smaller worlds that are fun to run through, with level design in which you actually have to engage with the environments around you. Like, let's be real here, Treetops is everything Sonic should be in a 3D space. You have to preserve and gain your speed to access new routes. That screams Sonic. And I know that not everyone vibes with Spyro, but I truly think that the groundwork here is what Sonic should be striving for. Worlds that are fun to play around in, have tons of things to do and collect, and can be completed quickly if you know what you're doing. That's what Sonic should be, especially in an open world setup. There's a definite foundation in Frontiers, but it's held back by so many conflicting design decisions. And after all this time waiting, I wish I could say it was one of the best Sonic games ever, but I can't. I still see the same mistakes from Lost World and Forces being carried over here, and that makes me really sad. I want to see this concept realized to its fullest potential, and I definitely think that's possible. I could see it being achieved in the future, to finally see another great big new Sonic game. But this is all hypothetical. I'm left with what we have, which is none of that. with only that small sense of childlike hope keeping me looking towards the future. I know this series can be better, but I don't know if it will, because I am here, Sonic Team, but I don't know for how much longer.